listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn. You're listening to Santos Bonacci, live on Syncretism, here on criticalmassradio.co.uk. As above and so below is the holy science you need to know, astrotheology, because now it's our turn.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to Outside the Box here on criticalmassradio.co.uk. I'm going to get you guys to put on your seatbelts. You are going to need them tonight, I assure you. You see, everyone walking around on this planet right now are the proof of my awakening and the proof of some of the things that I still need to awaken within me. So I observe it from both positions. And what I'm going to do tonight, I'll welcome Santo to the table here as well. But what I want to do tonight is go through. Actually, I've got one essay I wrote yesterday, and one that I'm still working on, but I am going to share it. And here, one sec. Just let me. Yes, I want to view these files later. And what I want to do is teach you guys how to sow the right seeds, because that what you put out in terms of intent and any spirit breath, words, tongue pledges, language, whatever the case may be, phonics, sound, any sounds you put out, you are actually creating it. We've covered this. I'm going to get real down to the nitty-gritty tonight because I want the rest of me to wake up, because you're all superstars in my movie, and the only way we can do this collectively, well, because there is only one God, and I'm it, and you can say the same thing. As far as I'm concerned, you're all superstars in my show, as I would hope that I can be a superstar in yours. I already know I am, so it's all good. You see, you are all superstars, so am I. I'm just going to show you how this consciousness can get there, because if but one shall awaken means the one. That's all of us, right? We are one. And all of this nonsense bickering and screaming at the movie screen is not getting us anywhere, except empowering that which has us trapped. And that's what I've got an essay called Enemy Mine, and the one I'm working on is called Cain and Abel. And I'll tell you this right now. If you cannot see what it is I am about to share with you, I'm going to continually keep working this through, because I know every thought I have, every intention I have is going into the consciousness, because it is my consciousness in my movie as I direct it. So you're either going to get it or we're going to get it, see, because I kind of stumbled on the key thing, right? The master key, if you will. And that's kind of, I can put it in words, so I'll just leave it at that. So without further ado, let's just say a quick hi to Santo and see how you're doing down under. How's the weather? We've got ourselves a nice little blowover here with some snow and getting chilly, but of course, duality storm. What do you expect around me? Hey, Santo.
Yeah, I'm well, thanks, Kate. Thank you very much. And the cold in Melbourne down here at the moment, it's very strange. The cold is probably the coldest summer I've had. The last 4 summers have been very cold, though, here in Australia. We do get 1 or 2 hot days that just, come in once a week to remind us that it is summer. But apart from that, it's pretty much a summery winter here. Very unusual weather. But, look, I'm looking forward to hearing what you've got. I can tell it's going to be great.
This is going to go for it. Yeah, this is going to blow everyone's mind tonight. I know, because my mind, get it? Because I know I'm God. And so are you. Oh, my God. When you know you're God and me and I'm you, and there's no competition there, because we're all doing this together. I get it. I get it. It's friggin' awesome. So here we go. Let's start off with the most important thing. Who the real enemy is here, and who you think it is. Because that's the one that you can't confront. That's called the mirror, and it's called you. So that's where Enemy Mine comes from. I did post it yesterday on Facebook. Ninja did manage to get it up on kateofgaia.wordpress.com. Actually, Santo, I don't know if you have a copy of it yet, but I can slide one over to you. That for you. So you have it. Oh, here, one sec. Talk about magic. Here I am sitting in my car doing this. So, here, tell you what, I'll put it to you direct, Santo, so you have it direct. And just let me know when you got it open, and then we're going to... Because you know my essays, they're show and tell, right? You got to actually see them to believe them. I kind of do a word thing. I have a little trick I do with words.
Okay.
Okay, you got her? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Let's bring this. I got to get mine open. Oh, enemy mine. Yours truly. You, by your truly. You not of course I know you're all Kate. I gave you the biggest clue of all. Kati, spirit of love. Okay, here we go. Enemy mine. The toughest mirror to look in is our own. Go for yourselves. It is there that we do our most critical judging of self, albeit from a typically physical-only standpoint. How does our hair look? How is what we're wearing looks, etc., and so on. These are all the superficial or superficial, su being under in French, right? Physical manifestations. The under, this is what superficial means. The under create shell of our true God natures. This is usually where most up and dare not look any deeper. We experience a myriad of emotions where some days you have it nailed and others are just bad hair days with seemingly no recourse yet. All are based on the externals that create internal effects upon us. This is the standard operating procedure for the masses, and for beings like me, the mirror in all regards was hard to look into, since I never seemed to see the real me, because the internal wasn't being reflected in the external as per the norms of our collective society. This action is a gift of gifts because it separated me from physical reality in an extreme way. It started as my own worst enemy and my own best friend, operating in singularity style. People I have long known have often stated that they don't get it as far as my being trained. I fully get that. It's tough to get something you've never experienced in the same way as describing a movie pales in comparison to actually sitting down and watching the movie to experience it. It also allows me the luxury of seeing my own contrasts in relation to others who are a mirrored reflection of my consciousness. Since I am the only one I have to solve, I had to learn to be a neutral observer. We are confronted with many challenges every day where we are tempted to trespass on others' free will choice by interfering or intervening on their life's experiences. If you give someone a fish versus a fishing rod, are you really helping or hurting them? We've long been playing the game of polarity, the realm of opposites and equals at the same time. Good and evil are merely reflections of each other, where only the perspective separates them. If one sees something as evil, someone else must also see the same thing as good, and we engage ourselves in a polarized judgment by only seeing one or the other instead of one and the other. When we create something outside ourselves, we create the equal and opposite within ourselves. As within, so without. As without, so within. If one can imagine that everything is perfect, where only our perspective is skewed, then we are a long way down the path to knowing ourselves to a greater degree. So here's a tough question with an easy answer. When one has created an external enemy, what has been created in the mirror? In a duality and polarized position, one can't see the perspective from a created enemy's viewpoint because, well, they're the enemy, and who can stomach that? Can you stand in the mirror of that and see how you are also the enemy from their point of view? Phonics. Unfortunately, for many, the ego that controls them can never see such a thing, with the ego insisting it must be right. When we create an external enemy, this is equally the enemy we create within ourselves. When we argue a point, it is because of this ego controlling us, where an ego needs to justify its position in an always desperate bid for physical comfort and lust of survival. People speak of the ancient samurai as honor-bound, where a slight on their name would have them battling another to the death to restore honor. Now, how retarded is that? And how would effect are they to another's cause? When we react to someone else, what we are really doing is saying, your power of cause is greater than mine, and why do I spin out of control, being at effect to it? That's real mature, and is showing immediate evidence of where we are on our own awakening scale. This is exactly how problem, reaction, solution really works. How many times have you seen the news, a text, a post on some site that invokes... Oops, damn thing moved. Sorry, guys, I jumped again. It does this on occasion. Where were we? Okay, I'll go back. This is exactly how problem, reaction, solution really works. How many times have you seen the news, a text, a post on some site that invokes an emotional response or response, and it is something you have not witnessed for yourself? I think we might have lost Santo there. Just let me double check here, see if he's coming back in. I heard something drop. Yeah. So Santo will be back in. I'll just keep going. I used to love how it affected people were to the mainstream media. Is that right? Yeah. I used to love how it affect people were to the mainstream media, where they would make claims regarding another country and affair based solely on what some talking on CNN was scripted to say. I like to confirm the fact that they must know these things based on living there, being part of another culture and experienced it in real-time reality. That was never the case. That lit more than one ego fire because the ego hated to be made a fool of with truth. Truth is the only thing the ego cannot handle, which is the product of a physical illusion or, quite simply, a game. The word prove is prove or proverily, which means for truth, and there is no way anyone can prove anything if they haven't experienced it. This is why I will never try to prove anything to anyone, because proof is not required if one shares the same experience with me in my timeline, in my reality, and thus theirs. The only literal thing that you can prove to yourself is your own existence, where a North Pole exists because you've been there yourself. This is why I take nothing literally and observe only from an allegorical perspective. The allegories of creation are the only real thing I can prove to me because they only matter to me. I don't care, and I will not allow myself to get drawn into an emotional drama based on something that doesn't even concern me literally. It only matters to me allegorically from a neutral observer position. If we are caught in the dramas, we are in the realms of bread and circuses to the degree that we are distracted from our true paths. It's as simple as, will you buy duality into the drama or dragon mother creation of another and be at effect to it? Our cause removal is directly proportional to our being at effect additions. The biggest difficulty I encounter now is everyday conversation regarding all things literal, physical, and pure effect. If your creative intention keeps siphon or siphoning off, what are you creating and for whom? Can I dupe you out of your energy? Well, I sure can, because I now know how to do that. I can anyone I will go with full clear thought as an inception of an idea into your realm. Right now, I want you to not think of a kangaroo. That is the power of thought. Again, all the answers lie in the sound. The phonics and every thought is sound in its purest form. If I can control that, that can also be pronounced thought, right? The A can have an ah sound, remember? So if I can control that, I can control the consciousness of others. Let's look at the true enemy here then. Go and grab a mirror. I'll wait. Once you can get through the mirror to the other side, your Alice will be just peachy. But you have to be willing for the fires burn off the extended call. The need to be right versus wrong, where only the ashes, the H's, the gods are for you. The true phoenix or phoenix, ended, can finally pass. Are you caught in the emotional webs of friends, family, enemies, lovers, the masses, etc., that keep you in your own of deceit or DC it, not see it? We have been spellbound and ensnared in the web of webs for the only purpose of playing a game. Yeah, this is a tough game, but for those that really know that they're God, they have gratitude in as much as it takes quite the game to convince God they're not, after all. Don't you think? Go ahead, rant and rave about this or that, get angry at the system that has ordered one hell of a game, and I will sit back, clawed at hand, and be amused, and all the while tell me that they are amazed at what to do with it. But the truth is, it's so simple that my only frustration left is that people still themselves. You cannot have the power of God if you are under someone else's spell. Your power constantly being fed into the illusion. This is a game to know thyself, not beat 5-year-old retarded children over the head with a Louisville slugger, after all. This is the meaning of suffer unto you, the children. The children are not not the youngsters or young stars, but the screen child looking back at you in your mirror. How many times does it change? The movie is unchanged. Plot remains where I choose to watch it with my eyes as it pertains to me. What I need to see, because the content you need to sort it out in yourself to bring your own entities back to balance. If you were asked to bow an arrow while talking to keep flipping on, do you think you will fare? And how powerful should you make? When you find out the rope of life firmly grounded in balance, all power and aim returns, and not before it. This is where the hands are steady. Okay, we're back on here. I'm in there. I just want to make sure I'm on the call here. So if we get bumped, I've got some backup. Mike, hear me? Hello, Mike?
Hey, hello.
Can you hear me? Coming in? There you are. Okay. Yeah, anything happens where it gets silent again, just start talking. All right?
Sounds good.
Okay, and how it sound, by the way?
Still a little bit choppy.
Okay.
How about me?
Oh, you sound great. I mean, I hear Santo perfectly. I can hear you fine.
Yeah, wonderful, Kate. I read
Sounds great from here.
Yeah, right before you came on the air, I read that. And, yeah. You hit it home again, Kate. Thanks.
Oh, wait till you hear Cain and Abel. I cleared the parking lot with that one. All right, so where did we end off? Do you happen to recall?
It's like the last few paragraphs.
You would just, read the last paragraph. This is where the hands are steady and the aim is true.
All right, so let me see. Where are we here?
Last page.
All right, okay. Let me start at the top of the last page. That way I know everyone gets it in the flow I want to. All right, so you cannot have the power of God if you are under someone else's spell, where your power is constantly being fed into the illusion. This is a game to know thyself, not beat 5-year-old retarded children over the head with a Louisville Slugger, after all. This is the true meaning of suffer unto you the children, where the children are not the youngsters here, but the screaming child looking back at you in your mirror. How many times has a movie changed when you screamed at the bad guy in it? The movie is unchanged. The plot remains where I choose to watch it with my eyes as it pertains to me and what I need to see to shine up my own inner mirror. Yes, the enemy you create outside of yourself based on one drama or another is your creation, and one you will have to face in your own mirror, because the conflict is within you, where the external is reflecting everything you need to sort out in yourself to bring your own energies back to balance. If you are asked to hit a bullseye with a bow and arrow whilst walking on a tightrope that you keep slipping on, how do you think you will fare, and how powerful an archer will you make? When you finally get off the tightrope of life, get firmly grounded in balance, your own power and aim returns, and not before it. This is where the hands are steady and the aim is true, and where you can bring to bear the full drawing of your bow, where your arrow is your intent. When you fire arrows at a perceived enemy, you're only shooting at yourself from the external, literal, and physical effect realms. True archer, arc-er, arc-key-ro, or spark of life spirit, one who seeks this point of perfect balance, and yin yang, both reflect in all ways. It just depends on which side of the mirror you choose to stand on, the physical one or the spiritual one. If thine eye and enemy offend thee, well, pluck them out, including all the arrows you've shot into your own ass thinking it was someone else. What part of oneness did you miss? What? In love. Me. So I think I want to expand on that a little bit. Still loud and clear there, Michael?
Yeah, Kate.
Okay, good. Thanks. I'm just going to check, just to make sure we're not getting bumped around here. But the main premise of what I'm talking about is very simply this. The toughest mirror is going to be you. And while you are screaming at the movie, when you get the notion, when you finally get the notion that everything in the physical world is your effect. Okay, we are creators. Yes, I think we can agree with that. Yes? Good. Okay, well, let's stop being an effect to our effect. This is the trick. This is the true unknowingness. This is the God who does not know themselves in order to play a game with the God that does. And we are both. So if we are beating the hell out of something outside of ourselves, as I have done countless times, who am I really beating up? Who are we really beating up? We're just beating ourselves up. And we are being tested to see if we can see the contrast, or to see if we can finally look at it and go, that's me. How do I resolve that particular conflict within me? And this is exactly why every instant of every day, I don't have to go far. I just have to open my computer up or open a book or whatever, because everything is now to me, and everything only matters to me. You see, this is the selfless, selfish at the same time. I care enough about the all of me to take care of the one of me. And to know thyself means I have to know that you are all me and that I am all you. And if I cannot fix me, then I cannot fix you. And I want everyone to get the notion that every word I utter is you. This is you speaking. Can you hear yourself? I am that little thought, that little keymaster sitting up in the top part of this universe consciousness, speaking to the rest of the points of consciousness that are awake. Because only the awake show up at this table. To what degree they're awake, well, that's me to determine from my perspective. Because when some part of me that's not quite fully awake yet, that's reminding me that there's still something within me that I got to go, I got to tweak that a little bit. I got to see where the conflict is there. So I'm not looking at anything in terms of judgment. I cannot, because when you do something, you throw it out of balance. You've polarized it. You've put it into, you're evil, I'm good. Well, okay, then fine. Then the one that you just called evil says, well, then you're evil and I'm good. And where is that going to go? It's going to go fucking circular real quick. And hey, do you want the clue? It's in the Milky Way. It's a dragon eating its own tail. And it's going to keep going round in circles until you take that 11-degree tilt, that's what Earth is on, and start tilting it back, which is why what's happening right now is we're balancing out. You'll see it in the world, because I know there was a pole shift today, and I'll tell you why I know there was a pole shift. It's an ethereal pole shift. What's happening right now is the Earth is now tilting closer to center because it's been off center for a while. It's got a little wobble thing going on, right? Well, every 26,000 years, this game wobbles to a different star. Right now, or it was at Polaris, the polarity. And, of course, we're dealing with one of the seven sisters, Gaia, and that's the bullseye I speak of, in Taurus. It goes north of Taurus, right? It's above Taurus. And one of the seven sisters is Maya. Maya means illusion. So here we are, polarized in illusion. This is the Ferris, or the Iron Age. The I, Ro, mine. Okay? The Rome is contained within you. Or it's with, if you see Rome as an external, then you will never see it as an internal. This is how I watch my own thought intentions. I know how to write a spiritual contract now because it's every thought I have. So I'm very mindful of my intent. And here's the thing about it. If I've ever offended anyone, well, see, that wasn't me doing that. That was you. Because my only intent is benevolent. I have the stars as my witness. I will not yield from that position. I do believe that according to our game plan that we all play by, that the Leo Ascendant has only good intentions. It can only work to benevolent things. I'm cool with that. Maybe my Aries midheaven, my Ram, part of that too. I'll get Santo to tag on that after we get done this. But before I go any further here, I would like to share Cain and Abel, what I've got. And unfortunately, it's not done yet, so it can't be a read-along. But what I'm going to do is urge people that when I get it done, I'll be reading in its entirety. It will be up. But I do want to share this because this, for me, is critical now moment. Because I've had a number of different conversations today with people, and what I'm looking at is an easement of the conflicts. But I want to take that that's why I got motivated. I got to take that to a higher level so that the other points of my consciousness, you, me, all of us, we're one, gets this message, because I'm just trying to put it out into my consciousness here. I'm just that little thought in the back of your mind that's reminding you, wake up, William, wake up. That's all. I know my role, and you're all superstars in my movie. I know that. I wouldn't write anything but a blockbuster. So without further ado, let me read this, and then we'll go hell bent for leather. Now, There, I got it. Okay. So what we're dealing with here is Cain and Abel. And we're still good, Mike? Not breaking up too much?
Great.
Going wonderfully.
Good. Well, I'm holding the intention there now, so we should be fine. In my movie, it's a perfect show. Let's have one. So, Cain and Abel. While the masses stare utterly blinded by the literal reality they accept as real, they will miss the greatest show in the universe. They will grovel at the feet of their masters in churches, synagogues, mosques, and the like, and will cry when their masters beat them, but return they will, until such a time as they start to reach beyond this altar of the all. I have covered this particular literary couple many times, and as far as I can tell, is the one that put a feminine face to Abel, where everyone thought her a male, a brother to Cain. And I think you remember that show, Santo?
Well, just I want to add to that, Kate. There's more proof of that in the Hebrew language, because the name of Abel in Hebrew is Hevel. That would be, if you replace the first H, it will give you the English word level. And all level things are feminine because they are even, Eve numbers. That's why Abel was the fourth son. 4 is an even number having to do with death. So Hevel is the true name of Abel. Level, feminine.
There you go. And you covered it actually really good the night that I uncovered that, because you went into all the Hebrew stuff and a whole bunch of other things too. That was about a year ago, I think, or probably longer than that now. It's got to be probably about a year and a half. So anyway, we'll carry on. That's the first paragraph. So I'll just do the last line of it. I have covered this, Cain and Abel. I have covered this particular literary couple many times, and as far as I can tell, I was the one that feminine faced to Abel, where everyone thought her a male, a brother to Cain. They are the representation of the energies of magnetic and electric, or the me. Magnetic, electric. Me. Get it? Just a coincidence. There are none. Anyway, please put aside all notions of coincidence, because there are none, unless your ego wishes to argue a truth of truths and render you a fool once more. When you can finally accept that sound creates all things physical and material, then you will finally grasp the power of the spells called words. If I can create a shape, put my intention in it, then convince you that that shape means something, and you agree, then I own your mind with my intentions. This is why we need to grasp the phonics of a word versus the spellings, lest we be rendered spellbound and others' intent. These sigils, letters, numbers, and symbols have been well indoctrinated into all of us, where by our agreement of what they say or create or sound like, has us invoking the spells of another. Once you break this spell by removing all perceived rules and only using the original creator's intentions of all grammar, all languages, you can now use these rules or laws against them. Roman law is based on Phoenician law, therefore, those who make the rules must obey the rules, where I choose to use the rules of creation itself now. Take Cain, for example. He was a tiller of the earth, one who reaps a harvest from the seeds planted, and when he appeared before God in the story, God was very displeased. Abel, on the other hand, brought a flock of sheep, allegory for the little children commonly known as humanity. Let me show you a myriad of perspectives on how their names give the game away. Cain sounds like Cain, C-A-N-E, and something you need to be able, A-B-E-L, to walk. Abel is just that, quite able. The two prefixes of in and a can both mean not. C or ka, Cain, ka can sound like ka or sa, because C has an S sound as well. And bell can be spelled B-E-L-L, and that word can be something to ring or war. Remember, there are no rules now, where only our intent is concerned. Let's take a look at all the potential intentions we can have once we break these spells. It is only necessary that you get the concept, not the redefinition of literally every word. That's a good thing, because the words can take on countless forms and meanings, where the original intent is safe until you regain your intent by reclaiming your tongue, Taurus, Torahs, etc. So Cain can mean spirit not, spirit in, Crippled, a sugar. Unconditional love with yin in the mirror, A being 6 and E being 9, lowercase yin and yang. Of I made mine. Cain, like Abel, can be both positive and negative, equal and opposite, all at the same time. Duality creates the split, where I'm showing you how to refuse that onion, union, by peeling the layers. Abel can mean a war or no war. Yin war, K-N-O-W, no war. Abel, Nobel or Nobel, etc. Well, Peace Prize ring a bell? Thought it might. It is far more important and only important that you get the concept of removing all grammar rules, or ruels, which is R-O-U-X, which is a thickener, so a thickener of your intent, so that you set yourself free of the spelling trap. As soon as you get the aha moment regarding this, the spell is broken. This is a spiritual game that humanity, for the most part, for eons, has been playing it from the physical, literal, meat stick, angle, or angel. Also, once this finally sets into your new way of seeing things, you will begin to see an exponential increase in supposed coincidences, where the magic begins to unveil itself in short order. The game is simple to me. It's not what we do to set ourselves free individually, it's what we do to free all of humanity and consciousness free that matters. As this unfolds, you may get the notion that if the spells no longer trap your intention, can they be used in the mirror? Well, I think it's safe to say that those who work for the system are far more asleep and living in the literal material world more than us, no? Are they owned by their money, their greed, and are they transfixed on this reality being real? Yep. So, if we were falling under the Phoenician spell, then so must they be, only deeper and more at effect to it. It looks like we have the upper hand in intent now, then, doesn't it? This is where you begin to see your intentions manifesting in real time, where you are seeing things from the look what I caused versus look at how emotionally roped in I am. We are literally at effect to our own causes. See them as an external effect from an external source as to how they affect us emotionally, get all dramatic about it, either positive or negative, and spiral deeper down, being the continuous ad effect to the effect of the effect ad nauseum. Only when we regain our sight of the true cause being ourself, the literal world loses its grip on you. If I can control your intent, I control your cause. If I can invoke an emotion, I own your mind. Thoughts seeds, and why God was disappointed with Cain was because Cain brought back the goods from external seeds planted and grown west of Eden, where Abel brought forth creation itself, a sheep, or she-ro, the divine nurturing feminine creative spirit breath. This is why we need to shut Cain down, the left brain, because he will plant any seed offered to him from the physical, literal, every nasty thought, every harmful intention will be grown and harvested by those who partake in his worldly garden. Abel lives in the Garden of Eden of the right brain, the right, R-I-T-E, or ritual brain. None of her thoughts can reach you until you silence Cain. Clear the RAM, random access memory. Clear the RAM drive, or Ares, also spelled R-E-S, which is the god of war, where the Rome, R-O-M, read-only memory, or Rome drive, is yours internally, where it was shadowed in this realm with city. Rome, or Ro-Om, is, always was yours, and the physical one only represents everything inside of you. This is why I made Rome my prime target at the beginning of my quest, because where you find the darkest of dark, you will also find the lightest of lights. The only real question is, can you neutralize new Trinity of all eyes it? In this fractal creation of ours, everything that is external must also be internal, as within, so without, as above, so below. Can you see yourself reflected in this world or not, since you are, in fact, reflecting it? I am now witnessing my own awakening potential with all the other parts of me that are resonating with what I and others share regarding this information. When someone thanks me for what I share, I also thank them equally in being the proof of my own awakening, where I am and where I need to go to shift laterally into the timeline I am intending. If we are yelling at the movie screen, which is all things external, we are at effect and trapped via our emotions. We have allowed another to rule our thoughts because we are somehow offended. We are then constantly at effect to the physical effect of our own creation. Did we not create God in our image or not? This is a shadow realm with infinite clues and confirmations once we truly begin to accept that all things are perfect. If someone's reality is jail, arresting, court, like the Crown fiction types, how difficult will it be for them to imagine themselves in their own prisons? All it takes is for you to offer their cane a real seed. They can manifest in their reality and then let nature take its course. How many times has the fear seed been planted in your West of Eden field where you nurtured that thought to culmination and also reaped the harvest of it? Yeah, every single time. What's cool about that is that works both ways. And once you reclaim your living spiritual aspect, you become pure cause and pure able to do this. I know, I do it every day now, and I simply watch my crops flourish. My seeds are of a benevolent nature, and thus my intent is the same harvest. Sometimes you have to plant ragweed, but then I'm very selective into which gardens I put those seeds. My writings are those seeds. What you are facing at all points in life are the tests to see how good your seeds are. If you have conflicts, you're genetically modifying your seeds to suit the fields. And that's where I left off. I've got so much more to write there. But effectively what I'm trying to explain here, and I'm going to get into an even longer version of this because it's so difficult to get this concept through, is what you sow, so shall you reap. If you are in a conflict with someone outside of you, and I don't care, this is your test, every one of you. It's my test, it's your test, okay? If it's mine, it's yours. It has to be. We're one, okay? So if you've got somebody coming at you, for any reason whatsoever, I don't care if they're in the system, some pissed-off neighbor, whatever, that is something for you to see in your mirror that you, as my consciousness, has to correct. And when I see these conflicts, I don't look at the conflicts. I'm looking at me going, okay, what's that balance with me? You know, we've had a few, I've been one of the most dramatics you'll ever want to see, but that's because I needed to go to both sides of the extreme, as I see that now. And that's where it gets neutral. So I'm just a neutral observer. So it's like this. I can control your mind. If I can piss you off, if I can make you laugh, if I can make you cry, if I can make you do anything to be at effect to what I'm thinking and doing and being, I own you. I own your cause. And more importantly, because I know the nature of what I truly am and how these spells work and that they work in the mirror as well. You know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Here's the difference. See, I know Phoenician law. I know the power of the fraud, deception, if you will. We had to deceive ourselves. We had to not see it. That's what deceit means. And fraud comes from Fraulein. It's a feminine. It's a creation. Frau D, which is Frau Delta, which is Frau Trinity of himself, herself, itself. As far as I know, Fraulein is, girl in German. You see, it doesn't matter what language it comes from. And I'll tell you right now, I know exactly every word I need to know because my experience I've accepted as perfect. You see, I would not be on this timeline had I not been through the literal hell and crucifixion that I went through to get here. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Well, gosh darn, all that evil shit is actually a beautiful good thing because now it gives me the power to rise above that, become the causal nature over it, where I see all things outside of me as my effect that I am causing. Pick a fight, expect a fight. Somebody wants to pick a fight with you, I mean, that's because that's the universe, you, me, that's how I test myself. If I still got a conflict inside, well, I'm going to definitely manifest something outside. And if it comes outside, it's just another test. Will I bite into it dramatically? No. Because I know the power of my thought. I know that thought itself is creation. And all I've done is I've backed myself into my inner universe as out as within, right? It has to be the same in and out. I've just backed myself in to my beautiful creative void energy, the divine feminine, with my powerful masculine intent, positive energy, and I release that potential. It's like a wave. And let's get into this a bit, Santo, because I know this one's going to just float your boat. Okay, all creation, sound is a wave, which has just think of Santo's sine wave on the side of the Earth. Now, Santo, when you do the demonstration of that, the Earth is always perfectly level, right? In your charts.
Yeah, you mean horizontal?
Horizontal, perfectly horizontal. Now, let's get outside this box for a second and have a look at, is the Earth, if we were to look at the Earth, according to having a tilt, would it look perfectly level if we looked at it from an external position? No. We have an 11-degree tilt. So while we remain horizontal, what are we doing? Well, that sine wave is feeding back into itself constantly. It's a feedback loop where it just gets noisier and noisier and noisier, more literal, all along. All the effects we keep creating effects based on the effects that we're experiencing, which creates more effects, which creates more creation of effects through effects. So what are we doing? We're actually going down Jacob's ladder. That's what it means to spiral down, because we're at effect to the effect, of the effect, to the effect, constantly over and over and over, because we have not stepped into our causal state. Let's go to Jacob's ladder and start climbing this mother, will we? Good, I thought you might like that. So let's take the Earth and put it on a tilt, 11 degrees. Now that sine wave is climbing and falling. And this is the nature, for me, the true nature of reality. It doesn't go horizontal perfect, it's going at an 11-degree tilt. And there are those that are, the ones that are at the effect are going down the sine wave. So notice that the high point regardless of how high they climb on their game point, the next high point they have is lower than the last one they had, so it's a constant downward spiral. Now, if you decide to turn around and go, well, I'm going to stand in truth, because only truth can set me free, that's truth is, right? So now I'm going the other way. I'm going to the right where it's climbing. So notice that on that sine wave, both sides of the wave, you have a positive side and a negative side. Positive is the electrical potential, the intent, the masculine, and the bottom side is the negative, creative void, right? So just imagine a roller coaster. As you're climbing the roller coaster to get to the peak to do your drop, what you're doing there is building up all of this kinetic energy, and that's a spiritual thing. So as this roller coaster climbs and climbs and climbs, what you're doing is you're building up potential to be released, orgasmic, spiritual or physical, at the top of this wave. So what happens here is that energy potential is at its highest point, but while that's at its highest point, if you look down below the wave, what you see is a very large void of feminine creative potential. So not only have you got the high potential of intent, you've also got the greatest void in which you can create it. So once you spiritually blow your load, either male or female orgasm, doesn't matter, it's both the same to me. What happens is now you've taken all that kinetic energy and you go down and scream down that creation energy, that exhilaration, and then you come bottom of that wave and you decide, okay, that's far enough, and then you start creating your potential back up again. Now, if we were on completely horizontal, we would just be riding the same waves up and down, and nothing in our lives would change, and our creation wouldn't adjust accordingly. But if we're on a tilt now and we're actually climbing up, you'll notice that the new low, where you begin that potential build-up again, the will of the line, Leo, and of course Virgo, which is the creative void, Leo and Virgo, what you have there is a Sphinx. I know this because I had my daughter Emily's Leo, my daughter Hillary's Virgo. I knew I had the Sphinx was in my game because, well, hell, darn if I didn't create one, okay? But what you'll notice on that wave is, even though you went down that hill, it released all that potential into the void, what you have now in the as above is you have an incredible amount of potential to grow from, right? Because at the bottom, the creation is done. Because you've used up all of that negative, feminine, divine void, emptiness, and placed intent into it, so it's now created. Okay, that's created. Let's move back up the roller coaster again. And because we're on an upward tilt here, you'll notice that the high, or the high, is actually higher than the last one. And then when you blow your spiritual load again, you go back down that roller coaster to the bottom again to release all of that potential of intent into that huge feminine void of creation. But the low point this low point is now higher than the last one. And as long as you maintain that climb, you're spiraling up, Jacob. That's your DNA strand, climbing and climbing and climbing. As within, so without. As without, so within. So these are just a couple of things to ponder.
Yeah, look, these are all spiritual orgasms. That's how you get to enter the higher mind by desisting from squandering physical organs down below. They're equally as pleasurable. I mean, everybody loves the word orgasm. In fact, some people love sneezing because it's it's similar to. I love sneezing. I think it's great.
Yeah, it is. Natural release.
Oh, it's so sexy. I love it. Sometimes I sneeze about 9 times in a row. But
same with yawning, by the way.
Yeah, yawning, exactly. But this is what's going on with the way that teaches us that, as you relate it to an orgasm, if you want downloads, if you want downloads, you have to go into the still moment. The still moment, you'll find it on March the 21st and September 23rd, when the Sun enters Aries and Libra, because that's where magnetic light is along the ecliptic. It's only 2 points. That's it. Those are the 2 covenants, the 2 candlesticks, the 2 thieves crucified on either side of Jesus, the Sun, etc., etc. The two witnesses, blah blah blah. And this is the kind of light that we have in us once we return the oil and tithe and bring it back up Aries, because the little sheep are the dormant brain cells in the brain. Those little sparks of light, we've got trillions of atoms in our brain, in our cerebrum, the RAM of God, high RAM, Allah, whatever you want to call it. It's the Lamb. You'll find L's in his word all the time, Elohim, Allah, but it is the Lamb of God who saves us. And those little crystals in the head, there's only one way, heaven, that you can activate them. And basically, your whole show today, Kate, up until now, has been based on that. How to have spiritual orgasms, how to return to the high knowing mind of Aries. And Aries is divided by Cain and Abel, 2 hemispheres. Cain is the canine, and Abel, who offers sheep to the Lord, is the sheep. Wherever the the lamb is, there will always be the wolf. That's the wolf in sheep's coverings, etc., etc. So Cain and Abel. Cain being the left brain, L, the bull. It's kind of opposite, you'd expect Abel to be the bull, Abel, but it's not. It's Cain. And Abel is the feminine right hemisphere, and how you get there is by stop squandering all your energy down below. And that's what people are doing. And, unfortunately, the priests of this science forgot to teach young kids that if you want to have sex, go ahead. It's, but don't discharge that energy. Save it, and then you'll have orgasms above, as the ecliptic does. And have I been bumped off?
No, I hear you loud and clear, Santos.
All right. Okay. Well, all right. Well, I was going to add to that. I mean, the ecliptic has got all the information that we need. It's all on there.
Mouse
the
issues
4 rivers.
Here. Go ahead, Santo. I just had mouse issues. Go ahead.
Yeah. I figured. No worries. The 4 elements: fire, air, earth, and water, the so-called Platonic elements. Those are the 4 rivers of the Garden of Eden. You can take them literally, biologically, as the cerebrospinal fluids, the blood, the saliva, and the urine, the 4 rivers. You can take it physically if you want. You can go to the microcosm and do that in a literal way. Or you can say that it's the 4 elements that make up the body: hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon. Carbon, 12, by the way, turns up everywhere, 12, because it's the macrocosm and it's the microcosm number of man, 12, carbon. Man is a carbon crystal, the temple of soul of man, and the macrocosm is the dodecahedron. So it's the dodecahedron acting on carbon And you'll find all of these elements along the ecliptic too. We did this the other day on the show. Aries is nitrogen, ignite, agnes, the flame of God. So everywhere, this is why, well, let me finish that. Aries is nitrogen. Hello?
Yeah, I think that was area code 612. Area code 612, I got your mic open, so just be mindful, okay? It's all good. It's all good. Go ahead, Santo.
That's all right. No, I just wondered whether I had lag. So Aries is nitrogen, Cancer is hydrogen, water, Libra is air, oxygen, and Capricorn, cabra in Spanish, the Hebrew language, the Iberians. Cabra is an anagram for carbon. So the carbon, that's the cardinal cross, and that's the cross of the physical body, which transcribes into carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. But in the Platonic astrological elements, they are fire, water, and earth. So what you got now is you've got those animals turning up. Of God. Cancer is a Hydra. The Hydra's head is in Cancer, situated in Leo next door, but the head is in Cancer, the head of the Hydra, and this is the serpent, the evil serpent that pursues the Virgin. Well, that's Virgo, and so Libra is the bull, ox, because oxygen, ox is, so you've got to understand, air is alpha, and alpha in Hebrew is an ox. Air is oxygen, because oxygen is the crucial component of air. Hence, there is the ox, and Capricorn is the goat. So this is why these animals turn up everywhere in theology. There's always the sheep and the goats, and there's always the holy bull, the ox, the holy cow.
For dictionary, here's a couple more for you. You said about Cain, bull. Well, of course, Abel, or A meaning not, bull, not bull. Abel, right? Because A before word is a prefix, means not.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, King went to after married is the left hand, and that's where Cain is. He's off nodding. So anyone who wants to live in that world, the legal world, oh yes, I'm Santos Bonacci, the all caps name. Well, good luck to you, but that's the punishment, the name on the head of Cain. That's the name. It's the legal name. All of that bullshit that you do in this three-dimensional world, that's the left brain stuff. That's sinning. Signing onto shit, signing onto pirate boats, etc. But Abel, the right hemisphere, which is Abel and is living in the right land, that's where we should be, crossing the Red Sea, the Corpus Callosum, and entering into that land. But everywhere in the universe, you will see the four most popular elements, the all come from the serpent. We all come from the serpent. The Hydra, hydrogen, everything is water. And then you notice on the periodic table that 6 is carbon, 7 is nitrogen, and 8 is oxygen. 6, 7, 8, there's holy numbers. 6 is nitrogen. 6 is carbon, cabra, the goat. So that's why the goat's always in theology. 7 is nitrogen, agnite, igneous matter, fire, nitrogen, the Lamb of God. And of course, oxygen is the cow, number 8. And oxygen is the key to the whole system. That's why the holy cow is always the most celebrated ceremonial animal in theology and in religion. Because of that, you see, oxygen is in fire, oxygen is in air, oxygen is in water, and oxygen is in earth. Kind of gets around, everywhere. Fire needs oxygen, otherwise it cannot be fire. Air needs oxygen, in fact 21%, the other is 79% nitrogen. So, funny when the bull marries with the lamb, you can breathe that stuff, it's the air. And in fact, the air is made of 4 elements. Argon is the third. Argon, that would be Argos, the boat that goes on the waters, named Argon from the Greek word argos, which means lethargic or lazy. Of course, that's what a boat is on the waters. Argo, the ship in Cancer, where water, hydrogen is. And of course, the 4th element is carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide, although there's only small amounts of it in the air we breathe, which is oxygen and nitrogen, the holy cow and the Lamb of God, that's why they are so sacred, because we breathe the stuff. We breathe the lamb, nitrogen, ignite-trogen. And did I say nitrogen and forgot to give you the ending of that word? Nitrogenerator. Ig-nitrogenerator, fire, which produces all effects, electricity. And so there's the lamb and the bull. The bull is in Libra, and the lamb is in Aries, and those two define the way that you were talking about with a girly generator. And that W glyph, that's the universal glyph of water. Naughty old cow, having some sex with the naughty old water serpent hydrogen, the serpent, and then of course the oxygen gets naughtier and more when it goes back and mixes with carbon and makes Earth, because that is the 2 crucial elements of Earth. I think there's our planet Earth is 31% oxygen. That's the bull. So I absolutely worship the Lamb of God and the Holy Cow and the Holy Bull, and I've been praying and worshipping Jehovah all my life. When I was a Jehovah's Witness, I prayed to Jehovah. You see, Jehovah is Jupiter, and Jupiter rides on a bull. You see, when he goes off to Europa. Europa would be really the universe, and that's Jupiter is the creative principle that rides on the bull of oxygen. Europa
is one of the 7 sisters too, right? So it all ties together. So the information that you bring and others that I garnered some beautiful cherry picking from, I have translated it. What are the odds? Anyway, translated it into the spiritual magic kingdom, if you will. And for me, try to describe. Listen, you'll know when you get it, because it just hits you and you kind of go, perfect game. The only way you can see this, though, and I'm going to be blunt about it. If you've got here's a choice. You can either have emotions or emote ions. All right, so you either have the no spell casting shuns or no spell casting ions, right? E before a word. So what we're dealing with are mote ions. What we need to do is get into motion or mote ion, right? We don't want to destroy our ability to cast spells. So let's stay with the phonics, so I can show you this. If you are shunning your ability to cast the spells, it's because you're trapped in the literal. It's because you're only seeing things literally. You're not seeing. I'll give you an example. We had a pole shift today, and I'm going to show you how I observe my world. I only observe now because it only matters, and I really want people to start. Whatever I am saying, I want you to get the notion that it is you saying to yourself, because you are. You're me, I'm you. Okay, so let's get that out of the way, unless you still have an issue with there is only one consciousness. Other than that, we're good. Okay, so what people meant. So here's what happened today as an example. And when you're in the now, it means got any ebons going on, your new child, new as in past tense, KNEW, or new as in brand spanking, right? Tri, which is the Trinity, himself, herself, itself. They say, that's why we say things. Say means creation itself. Okay? And part of that, where was I going? Neutralize. Right? It's a new Trinity of creation, of all. So I'm sitting in the car earlier today, writing, and I saw a truck pull onto Ingrid here. And it was a hydro truck, or a electric company truck, for those that don't use the word hydro for electricity, when it's water-driven, right? Anyway, so I thought, okay, what's the universe trying to tell me? This truck, what am I trying to tell myself? What am I trying to prove in my coincidental universe that everything I'm doing is manifesting in real time and perfect? Well, okay, that's how I look at it. That's my intent. So this truck pulls around. It's yellow, by the way. Yellow is the center tone. on the color scale, it's like exactly where you want to be. So this truck was yellow. Coincidence that the cab number was 18, consciousness 9. Also a coincidence that it was pulling a telephone pole, Phoenician pole. Oh, Po-L, spirit with intent, pole. And of course, it's lying on the side. So that's horizontal, to be put into an upright position. So that's a pole shift, if you will. Allegorically, again, I translate it into allegory because then I put it back into literal, that we've had a literal pole shift. But I had to see the allegory first. Literal, here's your sandwich. Literal, put it into allegory to see how it will, and then put it back into your own literal. That's how you create. This is the key to the game, boys and girls. If you get this, you're going to be a master of this. You're going to be mean. Well, of course you are. All right. So anyway, the crane was King Crane. That's the make of the crane. It's all coincidence, right? And of course, the crane number was K10, which is Ka, Io, spirit of the God of creation, Io. 1 and 0, 10 is X in Roman numerals, which is key. So there's the key, or chi, life. I see anytime I see an X or K, a 10, an I and an O together, that's exactly what I see. That's what an ion is. It's the Io mine, right? I being the electrical intent. Look at the letter Q. Q is the perfect letter because it is creation that is inseminated. That's why it's got a little sperm sticking into it. That is conception. That's why we have Queen Bee. That's allegory, right? This is what you all need to be. You need to be the Q. And why is it that the Q, creation, is always followed with the U, which is electrical and masculine? International symbol of electricity is U. And of course you have the Queen, or the Qun, Q, there's that Q again, Q-U-E, that's Q. Know your Q in the play, Q my role here, Q my lines for me, stand in a line, right? And an N makes it all mine. Okay, so we have the K10 crane, which is a king, so they're your masculine and feminine all in one there, that they're going to use to erect, or not wreck, love, erect. This new pole shift that's going up. And what was the trailer number? Oh, well, it had to be 13. Of course it had to be 13. So I was watching, in the physical, literal confirmation of the intent, the foreshadowing of my movie that I've already put out. So there's our pole shift. The pole is now standing erect. And around the same time these guys were doing it, this storm blew in. Okay? And I look at me again, because I have to. I'm the only one I can look at in the mirror. Oh, that's right. I'm duality storm. Duality Kawak. Kawak is a mirror word. C-A-U-A-C. And you can keep that going forever. C-A-U-A-C-A-U-A-C. And of course you have Ka with intent in the mirror of Ak. Right? You've probably heard Allah Akbar, maybe, at some point. It's a reversal of the spirit. But here's the trick. Once you understand that every letter, every sigil, every number, every symbol, every shape, everything that is in the physical universe was placed there by ourselves. We split ourselves in two to have a game. So the other part of our consciousness that we're having a game with is the perfect and total contrast of you have to have absolute evil to have absolute bliss. And the opposite of fear is not love. It is bliss. Love is the motion that travels between fear and bliss. The more you can become unconditional in your love and see the individuals that you would deem to be harming you, you can see them as the children, suffer unto you the little children. I think that was in the Bible somewhere, Santo?
Oh, yep, for sure.
Right, those are the children we're speaking of. So if you're angry at these people, I don't care if they're wearing uniforms or judges or lawyers or cops or whatever the fuck they are, I don't care, right? To me, they're the 5-year-old retarded children that I am not going to beat with a baseball bat. They're the ones that I'm bringing onto me because I'm going to be able here. I'm not going to walk with a cane and be crippled. I'm going to be able, and I'm going to plant my seeds from the right side of Eden, in the garden, into their garden. If they want, they have a choice. I will give them a rose, which is a spirit breath of creation, every single time. Unfortunately, these are genetically modified roses in that, depending on their intent, they will either come up as that pure creation of light and love, or will come up as ragweed of death and destruction. You see, that's not my choice, though. If someone is willing to be into contract, let's say if you have an email address or an address or some way that you have left a mailbox open, your mailbox open, the Midas box, well, then you are under contract. You're open and willing to accept anything and everything that comes to that mailbox. And it's not the receiver that seals the contract, it's the sender. Because everything that is deemed sent, or everything that is sent through the mail, this is back to 1875, everything that was sent through the mail was deemed contract upon sending, not upon receiving. Because there is the assumption and presumption that because you have a mailbox and an address that you will accept anything that comes to your mailbox. And lo and behold, does anyone get any flyers, any junk mail? It only stops when you say no more, right? So again, I do not look at anything literally. I will observe the literal, okay, because that's the creation, that's the effect that I am the cause of. So I want to see what I'm causing. So when I see a pole come around the corner with everything in neutral balance, I go, yeah, game. And of course, I threw on a little movie. Actually, this movie that I was watching I believe it comes out on Friday. Ironically, it's what's it called? Let me just share it. Where is it? Let me just have a look here. I'll tell you the title of it. It's just a coincidence, though. Where did it go? All right, there we go. The title of this movie that comes out on Friday that I'm already watching, I can't get past 13 minutes and 49 seconds. Coincidence? 13th Warrior, 7 times 7, God multiplying by itself. Can't get past that point. I've tried 3 times. The movie's called The Adventurer, The Curse of the Midas Box. Does anyone remember I just wrote an essay called The Midas Touch? And isn't it funny that I was talking to Mike this morning, and he had mentioned this movie to me, and we had been discussing Midas Touch, and lo and behold, I go and check my Skype, and Ninja just made a note to me that I hadn't seen yet. They said, oh, by the way, I put up the Midas Touch as the new post today on your site and what have you. So, see, what happens when you start seeing all your coincidences, when they start coming together, what you're actually witnessing are the confirmations of how powerful you are in the manifestation, in the physical. This is when you know you're not only being an actor, of course you're a director, right? But you're also being a superstar in your own movie that you are directing yourself. And I know you're all superstars because I have you that in my movie. Are you guys all cool with superstars in the movie? Didn't think you'd have a problem with that, because you are. That's why you're at this table. That's why you're sitting listening right now. That's why you're partaking at this table. This is your table. Why? Because you said it. I'm you. I said it. You said it. We all said it, right? And look at it. Look at that. The sun set. We set the gratitude of the bull, taboo. So we got to stop looking at everything from a polarized position. If something comes at you that you deem to be negative, it is you as decided to be at effect somebody else's cause, and you will reap the harvest of those seeds. You have said, I'll take those cane seeds and plant them. Oh shit, just blew up in my fucking face again. Or you won't. And here's the power that you have, all of you at this table have. You have the power of intention now. And while you are starting to get better understanding of the things that we share here, and of course the things that I like to write, because this is all I do, I'm just in constant download mode. It's my job. I'm Messenger, Gemini. It's what I do, right? You start to see the true power that you have. And the only thing that will stop you are the emote ions. We say emotions, and that's actually the correct way to say it. I no spellcasting shuns. I will not shun any of my ability. So now I have the mote ions. This is why you just need to break the spell of Phoenician. Once you understand that everything is sound, and Phoenician is the law that everything in this universe is based in, the purple people, that's what Phoenician means. It means purple people. When you mix red and blue, the cop car lights, when you mix them together, that's conflict. The cop car just shows you conflict. Red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, right? When you put red and blue together, what color do you get? You get purple. That's, you've unified your masculine and feminine. And as Santo, you've explained before, red can be both masculine and feminine, and blue can be both masculine and feminine. You know, hey, we had a boy, better get a blue balloon. As a girl, I get a pink one. Why the hell do you use pink? I have no idea. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Point being is this. Mars, masculine is red, and emotions are deemed of the feminine side, right? Blue is deemed masculine, and it's also the color of Venus. When you put Venus and Mars, the lovers of lovers, together, see, we're in the Middle Earth here, right? We're walking between these two allegorical points in the sky. Everything is an allegory to me. So Venus, divine feminine, Mars, or Aries, divine masculine, we're lovers. And what's happened here is we have come in between these lovers. So we're actually in the middle of a lover's conflict. And we're seen as well, who the hell is that? You know, Venus can see us as, another jealous female. And, of course, Mars can look at us as, interfering. Or have you not seen the cartoon, Marvin the Martian? Marvin? Yeah, just a coincidence. And what the hell was Marvin always trying to do? Shall I do it in the voice? I'm destroying Earth because it obstructs my view of Venus. Yeah? See what I'm saying? It's a fucking cosmic joke, boys and girls. When do you get over and stop being at the fucking movie screen? I'm done with the dramas. Please, the Dragon Mothers. Drachma. Is it funny that they have money called the Greek drachma? Drachma, dragon? Oh, when you start seeing all of these things interconnect in this beautiful web, you lighten up. And I mean that literally and figuratively, allegorically. You lighten up. You get lighter because the stress goes. How heavy are you when you're laughing? And how heavy are you when you're sad? Well, you have a heavy heart. And what do they do in Egypt? What is the allegory? Well, they measure the weight of the heart, you see. And they were doing it physically because they were worshiping an external god called Ra, the sun. The sun is our creation. It's merely a gate that we put there to travel through into all these different dimensions, all these infinite choices of reality. And I don't care what experience you're going through, whether you've been abducted, whether I don't care. Every experience is a different perspective. This is what consciousness, if I was God, and I am, this is what I would do. I would make my game so infinitely interesting that I would never be bored or lonely again. And I would enjoy that game. And I would also look for higher bliss. And in order to find a higher bliss, what do I need to look for? The contrast. So stop looking at everything as being, they're all evil and I'm good. Well, if you've tried to help somebody, you prick, you're just as evil as they are. Because you're trying to give somebody a fish when you should be just showing them, this is a fishing rod and this is what it does. Watch what I do. Want one? Here. And they have to request of their own free will choice. Free will choice is your illusion. There is no free will choice, and there is complete free will choice. I'm going to show you how it's different. All right? Free will choice is this. We have an infinite realm of possibilities on the lateral timeline to go linear. That's why we have to slide sideways on the bandwidth. We have to tune our radio where we want. If you don't like the radio station, then fucking change it. Literally, allegorically. And this is when you change it allegorically, spiritually, in your mind and heart, you have manifested it in the physical instantly. Instantly. There is no delay on this. Because that which you intend is automatically put into motion. Automatically. And the only thing that may give you a sense of interference is, well, I want this, and I ended up having, this happen, right? Well, I'm going to tell you why it happened, because that had to happen to get you into the lateral timeline that you're looking for. So when you start seeing all of these supposed curses or assholes in your universe, or, well, the so-and-so did that to so-and-so, I don't give a fuck what they did, because I'll be honest, I'm only looking at it from an allegorical perspective. Did it happen to you? No. Then why is it any of your goddamn business? And why are you making it your state of being busy? Busyness. Witness, state of knowing. Busyness, state of being busy. How about you just chill? Right? Legal is about making statements or state of mind. Lawful is about as, king, questions, ions. That's the cue of the stir, the divine feminine. Take your cue, shall you? Take your cue from the divine feminine of the io, the masculine intent in the divine feminine void that is mine. That's what a question is. It's a quest to move forward. It puts you into mote ion state. If you knew, and I'm going to tell you a little secret here, boys and girls, because you have this power. If you knew your true potential and power the way I'm trying to show you right now, everything that you are wishing for is coming true. I promise you. I promise you. I don't have to, well, maybe. There are no maybes in my universe, right? That is in the realm of Pisces, the age that just passed, I believe, the Iron Age, the Pharos age, the age of the pharaohs, the iron spirit breaths. Pharaoh. So if you're looking at it literally, like it was some form of his story, then it certainly isn't a mystery or my story. So I choose to make the mystery mine, my story, my divine feminine creation of the tree of life. I write my own Kabul or Kabbalah. I write my own Torah, my own Taurus field. I'm not interested in the spirit mind Gog synagogue. Or I don't choose to wear a mask. Mask. It's all good. Lose the emotional attachment to the things that are trying to rattle your cage. If I, God, which I am, can rattle your cage and get you into a vice of time, your grip of time, passion, emotions, and all the rest of it, victim, then I own your free fucking mind, and I will do what I want with it. I promise you. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I am doing. You want to ride this roller coaster with me, or you want to fight, kicking and screaming all the way through it? Because I'll tell you, if but one shall awaken, I'm not the one to awaken. I already am. I'm looking for the resonant twin flame on this. And as soon as that resonant twin flame gets this game's fucking over. And I already know it is, because the movie, The Adventurer, The Quest of the Midas Box, said so at the beginning. I love the opening. He has found the map. I don't know how he found it. But he's going to find the Midas box. And when that happens, oh well. I already know we have the game. I don't believe it, I know it. Because my lateral timeline is moving so quickly right now, with all the coincidences, which aren't. I just look at them as everything as being confirmation. Can you find that stillness within you? Can you lose the fucking emotions? Right? Can you do that? Or am I going to keep owning your sorry asses? Because I can plant whatever seed I want because I am so neutral. I know that I am not going to be at effect any longer to anything. Because I can hold my position now. And somebody come at me, blah, 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 and I go, I can control your mind. Imagine this. Imagine, maybe writing a little letter to, let's say, a chief of police somewhere, letting them know, well, listen, gosh darn, you got two paths you can take here, and I'm going to give you options, because I've got two realities I can create here, and it doesn't matter to me, because one or the other is going to be created. It just depends on what part of the consciousness you want to be in. Do you want to be in jail as a fraudulent crimes against the rest of my consciousness type? You as that part of consciousness, I'm just going to obliterate. I'm going to lock up. Or you can actually stand on the side of consciousness that is awakening, looking for benevolence and love, and help that move forward. Whatever you decide is fine with me. That's your free will choice. You can do whatever you want. I will never trespass on that. But there's your seeds. You pick this road, I'm going to privately prosecute your ass into a prison cell for the rest of your life. You choose this road, I'm going to sit and have a beer with you, and we're going to laugh our fool heads off. Choose. Which side of history or mystery, my story, are you going to be on? I believe in his story, because that's illusion. There's only one story here, boys and girls, and say this all together. It is my story. No one else's. Scripting for you. You or some asshole part of conscience is challenging you to see if you'll take the fucking bait once again. That's what they really mean by being a masturbator. You going to buy the lie or move on from there? That's all I'm trying to do here, and I'm really trying to do it with a whole lot of fun. I'm trying to get the sarcasm working. I'm trying to get all of the light up shit going on. I'm every piece of the drama I know from a neutral, pure benevolent intent to you. You see, here's the thing. If I ever offend someone, that was their choice, not mine. I have no intention of offending anyone. You see, if I have the intent to want to awaken you, which is the most potent, highest form of intention that I have, it's everything I am, to awaken in a benevolence and glorious, glorious time for all. That's my intention. So how can I offend you? You see, the only way that I can be taken is from a spiritual perspective or an ego one. So if I say something to you along the lines of, "Listen the fuck up, crybaby. Quit crying the goddamn blues. You're to affect everything around you." Am I being malicious, or am I being the unconditional love? Tough love, soft, furry, cuddly kind of love. Doesn't matter to me. It's all love. And there's only one mission in this universe, and I intend only to be that, love. And love is evil in the mirror. You don't have any enemies at all. The only enemy you have is yourself by creating another one outside of you. I have no enemies. They are all my children, and I will suffer the children to bring them home. Sometimes it takes a gentle hand, and sometimes it takes a thundering velvet one. Here's the joy of me. Choose which fucking hand you want, because I will give you either with all the unconditional love, which is all my intention is. Choose. I'm your best friend or your worst fucking nightmare. Choose. I love you that much. Kate rant over.
Lovely Kate.
Hello.
Hello. How are you? Are we having fun tonight?
Yeah.
I'm having a blast.
I'll tell you about my polar shift today. No, the polar shift in the middle of Minnesota, 50 degrees below zero.
Nice. 5, my life path. See, it's all about me, guys, so keep talking. I'm going to listen over me. Go on.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Keep going.
Oh, I just wanted to... So, for the pole shift, the literal pole shift, and the spiritual pole shift and all that you just talked about, I got stuck inside to be quiet within myself, inside, to finish a book that I was reading, the last couple chapters, called The Sculptor in the Sky. This book, you just... Kate, you just summarized this book in a nutshell, all what you said tonight, and Santos. So even the words selfless and selfness or whatever,
selfish
and
selflessness, yeah. Hey, let me share something with you while we're on this train of thought. About what time did you experience that pole shift?
Oh, you mean the coldness?
Around lunchtime today. You're in the Eastern Standard Time?
I'm in Central.
So you're 2 hours behind me. Okay, so that would be around 10 a.m. your time?
Yeah, it was cold then, yes.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking at the correlation of the pole shift that happened, so I tie it all together, because I know it happened everywhere. Not everyone's going to see the pole shift, but you did.
There was a literal pole shift today. You know, the pole, the coldness in the North Pole, I think the North Pole, one of the poles, literally shifted, you know that, and came down further and covered the whole Minnesota and almost the whole United States, you know, with cold weather. Coldest weather we've had in 20 years, You know that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the duality
Yeah.
storm. Sorry about that. It's kind of my manifestation. Why? Because I'm the superstar and director of this movie, and I know that because this is the way it works. Here, let me share the movie I talked about, the Midas box thing. Here, let me show you some of the things on the page. If any of this, maybe you guys correlate with things that I've written, my prophecy, my profile, my size, my 4 creation spiritual intent thing. Here we go. Check this out. E Motions Pictures. Are you kidding? And of course it's E-motions, so it means it's not joined, so it's full motion. How about Arcadia? Telephonecia or Telephonica, which is Telephoenicians. How about the Kraken? How about Chronos? All these are in the titles at the beginning. The Phoenix, Phonix. Are you kidding me? How about Aphrodite? How about U-films or U-Phi-LMs? Crazy. I've got the essay, Release the Kraken, Hook Phonics. We had Mike McCracken. Are you guys starting to see the cause my unconditional love joke? Cosmic? It's all
I'm excited.
in the sound. Well, you better be, because this is part of it came through crucifixion. Oh yeah, we're right where we need to be.
Let me tell you I want to nickname you tonight, Kate and Santos and everybody, but Kate first. This is your nickname that I thought of as you're talking, Kate. Limitless. Limitless.
Great movie.
Kate, the Limitless. Yeah. And the mantra I've been saying to myself lately and teaching my grandchildren is I am bliss. I am bliss. I am bliss. Yes. Glory. And I just wanted to share that. Oh, what was?
Oh, here. Do you know what bliss is? Here you go. B, 13th warrior. That's Christ. That's Tophucus. Okay. L, which is the intent. Santo, you've clarified that one more than 1,000 times that I can count. The intent, and of course, ISS. What? Oh, it's not the International Space Station. No, it's ISIS. The is. That is the BL is. BL, right? It's all there. Yes, that we're doing here. And every little shred that we pull away with a Phoenician law. And once all of these little shunnings of our motes cease, and there's that say, oh yeah, I can't even I can't even talk normal in conversation. I have to just get in download and just spew. Now I can't, I cannot sit across the table from anybody and talk literally anymore because it's like, fuck, that's boring. It really is. When you see the magic, you just can't let it go. So carry on. This is beautiful.
No, that was awesome. Just really quick, I'm curious, since Santos and you, I am Cancer, July 2nd. What am I? What am I doing here? Cancer.
I feel I learn. That's the feely, and I feel I learn not to feel. And I can get into all sorts of things. Ka and say Cancer. I don't take shit literal anymore. I know what it is. Ka, spirit, and mind. Say, himself, herself, itself, creation itself, and which is spirit breath. Of course, right? I am them in I, right? The Jew, right? We're all the Jews. And look at all the things that we've had thrown at us to get us so polarized and divided. Fucking Jew bankers and fucking Jew this and all the rest of it. And they were anti-Semite and this. Go ahead and play ping pong for eternity. Knock yourself out. I'm good. I'm going to cut you guys, cut the ends of your dicks because you think you're supposed to, you morons. It means circumcising the left brain, you dicks. No pun intended. But here, let me get the little scissors out and cut squeal like a pig. Better yet, let's get real down on it and let's bite the damn thing off like some of the Orthodox. It's like, please, guys, come on. You're way too literal on this shit, right? You got to get out of the literal box. Literal. It's all in phonics, right? Oh, man, I better do a shout-out. We got 22 minutes. Master number, just a coincidence, until we roll over here. So for those who do want to roll over, and I'm sure you will, because you want to be a part of this. I know you will. You can call in at 661-467-2401, And, of course, you can refresh the page you're on Blog Talk if it hasn't already showed up, and click the Skype button there and follow your nose. I'm not going to hold your hand. I've told you the story. You know how to do that. Once you're on the board, if you want to jump in here, and I wish you would, I'd like to hear from me. Just hit one on your dial pad, and we'll get you in the call. Live's there, too. I'm going to Live's Mike as well. And we have Mike in the call. And I know the voice, but who am I talking to?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, Elizabeth Diamond.
Oh, Elizabeth. So I love that name of me.
You did the Untwisting the Blood Seal show, and that was beautiful. Came out beautiful. Have you listened to it?
Actually, did I listen to that? Untwist, because we had a good show that day.
Yes, you did really awesome. It was just so detailed
I'm such a better interview than an interviewer. I really am. It's like, and speaking of, I've got. Let me see. I'm going to double check and confirm this. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be on this board for an hour. Then I'm going to be swinging over to have a chat with Steve Travesty. By the way, Saving Mr. Banks. Oh, that's right, P.L. Travers. Oh, it's just a coincidence. Oh, is it a coincidence?
That was a good movie.
It was a great movie. And can you see the allegories? Can you see yourself as P.L. Travers? That's what the lesson in that movie is, right?
Yeah.
You see, it won't let go of all this bullshit.
Well, here's another sign and wonder during the polar shift today. In Minnesota, they did a story. There's some kind of larva or bug or something running rampant, eating trees and killing them. Well, because of the weather so cold, it killed like 98% of those larvae, so it won't be a rampant thing anymore, and trees won't die. Oh, that's a good sign.
Yeah,
makes you wonder.
Yeah, nature takes care of itself.
So to me, that's kind of like a reset, a little bit.
Well, yeah. Let me use the allegory again, because this is my favorite. It's the only question you have to ask yourself with every thought you have. What seeds am I planting into my reality?
Mm-hmm.
It is that simple. If you plant a seed of shit, don't expect a rose. You need the shit to grow the rose. So plant the rose instead, right? And that rose will not grow unless you've got some decay, some garbage. Now, decay is what can be deemed destruction, which we like to think of as evil. But in every destruction there is creation, and in every creation there is destruction, equal and opposite. This is why the Sonic only has one side of the equation. Order out of chaos? Fuck you. Chaos out of order. I use them both.
Yes, the twisting and the untwisting. That's why it's important to stay in the neutral, so then we can create what we want when we're in the neutral. And chaos and good and evil, that helps us go into the neutral.
Yeah, or us, right? Spirit us. Now, I want to do a shout out for Critical Mass Radio, something we don't do enough of. We should probably do this at least a dozen times a show, but to describe the gratitude for Paul Giovanni and criticalmassradio.co.uk, I have not got the words for it. Okay? And I cannot even begin to describe how incredibly potent Tale is. This is the cutting edge of the planet. I know it's my movie, so there you go. Oh, throw it, please. Talk about service. I'm getting a coffee service and everything. Oh my God, I miss it. Food at 9:30. Food at 9:30 or whatever. All right, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I have to come in for it. Sorry, guys. See, it's all social here. All right? That's how seriously I take my game. Yeah, we're just saving the planet, and I just have to make sure that we got some food or whatever. It's all good. Anyway, Paul, this movie is rated PG, parental guidance, and we are being the parents for all the children. You see, when you understand that the himself, herself, itself, the itself is the child's creation. The himself, herself is the parents, or the pari, mine, T, love. And the T is the double cross. It's either the cross you get crucified on, or it is the note of love. T. Double cross, you probably heard of that before. guys, anything that you can do and flow it at this table, what you're doing is flowing intent. I don't see me anymore because the money is completely neutralized. It is gone. The Federal Reserve is now defunct. There is no actual value. It never was. There was a divine feminine capturing by the fraud. It's a game. Don't take it personal. It's a game with ourselves. We're playing the game of, can I fool myself again? And yeah, so stop doing that, please. Get into the real world. Get into the real, the light of all. That's you within, right? And yeah, still you'll see parts of your consciousness just screaming, "Oh, they did this to me, and they did that, and they've done this, fucking bastards, and I'm gonna go get even." Shut up, right? Because while you're there, you'll never see this beauty I'm so passionately trying to give to you. You are God. And here's the thing: if but one shall awaken, so there's only one out there that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the twin flame. I'm looking for that click moment where this all disappears. And I know it will because it's already written in the stars. I wrote the movie before. We already wrote this movie. Are you seeing the script yet? And that's all I'm trying to show is the script. So anything you guys can do to flow energy at this table, please. criticalmassradio.co.uk. Head over. Get the intent.
Am I on?
Yeah, go ahead. Is this Alex?
Oh, this is this is Jason.
Hey, how are you?
Jason? Yeah, hi. How are you doing? You were mentioning the other show there. I just actually put this down on the lighthouse here. I respect you, and I think that you know better. But I'm having problems with my daughter. You were saying that Carl was wrong with the property thing. Of my offspring.
Okay. Well, again, it's I didn't say he was wrong. Okay. I didn't say he was wrong. What I did say was not quite there yet. Are you there?
Yeah. I'm sorry. You broke up again. Yeah. I'm still here. Hello.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're breaking.
Hello?
You sound clear for a bit, and then you break up, and it's been doing that all day. Oh, I guess I'm doing it. Okay, I'll just. I'm probably gonna get bumped off. I don't know. I'll just type here.
Yeah, just hang 10. I don't in the room. I need you to start observing things from a creator viewpoint as the Victor. Which get a grip on your toroidal field. While you were being emotionally strangled, you were at full effect to everything. And here's the thing with the movie, okay? I know what you are experiencing. I experienced it from a slightly different angle, that's all. But it's all the same thing. And it's the test to see if you will buy into it, or can you let it go? Because none of this is real. We're only playing a movie against ourselves. None of it's real. This is just our imagination playing. It's like it's a dream. It's a ride. Are you getting taken for one, or are you finally steering it? And this is what I'm talking about, because as soon as you can do that, it's your lateral mind shift where all of this drama that is being manifested in you gets released. When you take things literally, or literally at all, you are spiritually bound by the spells. And I'm just trying to get people into that headspace. My intent is only to do that. And I don't care what I have to do, what I have to say, how much it may seem that I'm trying to offend people. Listen, I said this last night, and I'm going to keep saying it for a while. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make fucking God. That's what I'm here to do. So you choose. You want to be a god or you want to be a victim? A vice caught in time. Time is past and future. There is only now. So you make your choice now constantly. You stay vigilant in the now as to how you want to see things manifest. So what you do in this now is foreshadowing to make it appear. You know what foreshadowing is? Foreshadowing is when you see in a movie, well, blah, 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 this is going to, sure hope that this doesn't happen, or this couldn't possibly happen. Next thing you know, bam, it's in the movie, right? And fractal what is in the literal is a created effect, and it proves itself every single time. I just chose to direct the movie, that's all.
Hey, Kate.
Yeah.
Everybody, hey. This is Alex this time.
Hey, how are you, Alex?
I'm doing really good. It's good to be back. I haven't been listening to the show. I've been listening to the recordings, but it's really nice to hear you in real time. I've been watching a lot. Yeah, you were talking about movies, and I've been watching a lot of TV lately, and it's had a really weird effect on me. I have to be honest, because I came to this table, and it's got everything that I need to kind of make my story go how I need it to go. I think we all know that.
Can I let you in on a little hint, Alex?
Yeah,
Let me give
go ahead.
you a hint. You, like Jason, Santo, and everybody else, you would not believe how big a superstar you are in my movie. You are going to love this ending. Can you join me in the flow, please? Because you, me, all of us are superstars, and you're going to see that very soon. Coming to a theater, A Heart of Love, Heart T, coming to a theater, yeah, it's in the electrograms too, right? Coming to a Heart of Love near you, in you.
Yeah.
As you, because you're me. And I know this movie is beautiful. A great superstar ending for all of me? I think we can. Sure beats this shit, doesn't it? You had enough of the contrast yet. I have this movie, my timeline. Now, I'll tell you, others that want to stay in the game, well, they'll stay on their own little linear timelines as shift over. That is what the pole shift is. And it's not north to south, it's east to west. What we're doing is we're moving east. We are laterally shifting into the right brain, the right side. We're moving literally into Eden. You see, if we go left, we go to hell. If we go to, allegorically, and if we go to the right, we go to heaven. It's not up and down. It's a quad, remember? As much as you go up and down, you go left and right. So it's like it old days, it's cool when you had not graph the x-axes. Yeah, the male-female axes. Did everyone forget what the chromosomes are? XX, XY? And all the Y is an X, the creation with a stem missing, a rib missing, if you will. Yeah, oh, you superstars. I'll tell you, you want to know how much fun I'm having in my movie right now? I'm sitting in my car. I've been in the car most of the day. It's been running. It's freezing here, but anyway, it's my zone where I can sit and have a smoke and type and do whatever. But right now for the show, I'm sitting here. I actually went and grabbed a couple of beer. I've got a nice hot coffee. I've got smokes, and I've got a bowl. And I am in party mode.
Go for it.
Well, the movie's over. Okay, shall we just get on with it? We had the shift today. We had the crucifixion. Look at all the allegories playing out. Hey, Santo, do you remember something about a grand cross where it looked like the sniper scope on a rifle?
Yeah, and it's still ongoing. It's it's hanging around, and it's producing all of this. It's absolutely produced a massive couple of weeks of downloads. I mean, if you go back on the last 3 or 4 weeks of shows, you'll get what's going on above. Above is really opening. The cardinal cross is so powerful. Cardinal signs have 50% of the energy along the ecliptic, according to Marcus Manilius. And half of the strength is in those signs. They are the openers, the door openers, the abracadabras. That's why you get April in Aries, because April means to open. Abracadabra also means to open. You see, open sesame. So, you've got 4 Aprils, you've got 4 openings, 4 abras, 4 Abrams, and 4 elements on that ecliptic. And it's interesting because it coincides, the Grand Cross that I'm describing coincides with what we just said about the wave a little earlier, that the cardinal signs actually contain the fire, water, air, earth, nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, etc., etc. All the fours, you can go on and on, but the ecliptic holds all of the elements and all of the sciences on there. And now we are under a Grand Cross. Now, this is not necessarily bad energy. Don't think that a Grand Cross, because normally astrologers associate it with bad, because its badness can be real bad, whereas like a Grand Trine, its goodness can be really, really good. If you want to stretch polarity and then make a religion called duality out of it, but you don't have to do that. You can still stay within the parameters of unity consciousness and all, you see. And so these two polarities that we have, can be found both in the one. They can be found in the Grand Cross is opening to new ecclesiastical, economical, judicial, and political things. Those four things are being addressed with this cardinal cross, because Aries is ecclesiastical, Cancer is the economy, Libra is the justice and balance and all of that stuff that gets done in the courts, and Capricorn, well, that's absolutely political. That's truly the king there. And so all of this is being addressed. How so? Well, you need to look at the nature of the planets involved, and like what does Uranus mean in Aries? You need to look at that connection to understand how the ecclesiastical is being reformed. Yeah, because he's a great reformer. He's rebellious. He's Uranus is a revolutionizer. So there's a revolution going on in spiritual terms. That's it. It has to be, because Uranus is in Aries, period. Squaring with Jupiter in Cancer. Well, Jupiter is the exalter of Cancer, so he loves being there. He's with Juno, and money, the moon, the ruler of Cancer. That's why Juno is the temple of money that we still bow down to. Was 2,000 years ago in Rome, still is today. It's called the Federal Reserve. It's got the same symbols. And so that is transformed by Jupiter himself. And then you've got Mars the Marshal in the Justice Department, Libra, squaring with 4 planets, Mercury communication, Venus the love, Pluto the transformer, and the Sun, the healer, Helios, in Capricorn, the political. It's being healed, it's being changed, its communication is changing, its love is changing. So you've got to look at those planets and to understand the eyes that see and the ears that hear. It's not just a cardinal Grand Cross, it's a special cardinal Grand Cross. It began pretty much, or what was born in it was the new moon on January 1st. These are not just wonderful coincidences, or yes they are, but they're holy coincidences. And when you get to April 15th this year, that'll be the start of the 4 tetrad blood moons, so-called blood moons, and they correspond with Aries, Libra, 2014 and 2015. So the Passover, the festival of Passover in Aries, and the festival of Tabernacles in Libra, Tishri, ran to Sukkoth. And this is going to be, we're going to have 4 full moon solar eclipses, and they will end precisely on Passover, Nisan 14, Tishri, Nisan 14, Passover, Nisan 14, Tishri, Nisan 14. 4 of them in a row. Land on the most holiest equinoxes, the Jewish holy days. So, watch out, because stuff's a-coming, stuff's happening. And it's happening in the now, because they've already been announced. They've already been announced to proceed along the processional way of the ecliptic. They will happen in so-called the future. but they are happening now, these blood moons. And this is the 8th of these tetrads since the year 0, the so-called 0 of, or the first year of Domini, anal domination. This is the octave. This is the 8th one that's coming this year on, and beginning with March, April 15 in. I'll hand over.
Yeah, no worries. We got 90 seconds to roll over, guys. So if you want to continue or wait for the archive, you can call in at 661-467-2401 or Skype in via the Blog Talk page, and that'll get you on. And if you want in the call, just hit 1. We've got it looks like Avita is in here. We got Mark in here. Live's on there. Yeah, and I can see Val. I can see Val and Lori's number. So they haven't put their hand up yet, but I know they're there. Oh, and we just lost.
I'm here. This is Alvita. Hi.
Hey, baby love, how are you? I'm going dancing, hon.
Oh,
you
yes.
have no idea the superstar role I got for you in this movie. We're going to go dancing.
Oh, yeah. We got the red carpet rolled out because we are all stars and we are mighty gods. I see it.
I tell you what, let's make a deal. Let's make a creational deal. I want you to be a superstar in my movie if it's okay for me to be one in yours.
Oh, yeah. You're definitely a superstar in mine.
There we go.
Okay.
See, we got superstar status.
Woohoo! There we go. Grammys and Oscars.
I love your laugh. Oh, we got sound going on. Okay, there. That way I can talk and you can hear me. Area code 541. I opened your mic. You've got a lot of noise in the background, so mute your mic or kill the background. And if you're listening to the show, kill that too. You'll have to turn the speakers off. Area code 425. You're give 5 to 4. Hang in there, baby. We're not done yet, hon. We got fun rock and roll. 4-5.
Oh, Kate, this is Nina. Hi.
Hey, Jesus, you always get me for that. I never know. Oh my God. 425. Got it. 425. Yeah. Okay, good.
No, that's fine. It's because I like to be at the end of the call. I just really don't like to speak up much. So I like to stay at the back and listen in and enjoy the whole conversation. And that's not me.
No, that was me trying to unmute 541. With that kind of noise, can't help you. Sorry. Keep going there, man.
I just had a quick question, and that is how to remove doubt from everything that you are relating to us. And it is just so, the concept is wonderful, and I just wondered a lot as to why I'm always tuning in. Is it because I am weak in my mind, or is it just because I got something, I'm trying to get something that I already got? So that is probably why I do continuously tune in. And the reason why I want to know is why the doubt is so big, what it is that's keeping us so doubtful about our knowingness of being a creator.
Okay, here. And I'll tell you why you come here, because of a feather, we flock together, baby, and we know a good feeding ground when we get there. And we are at the feeding grounds of feeding grounds. We got like seeds and breadcrumbs and everything else, everything to a bird's heart's desire. That's what this table is. That's why I come every night. Okay? Whether I'm hosting or not, I still showed up last night. I can't stay away either because I love this whole thing that we do here. It's where it is. Now, remove the doubt. You want to know how to kill the doubt?
Yes.
Well, you got to find out how to do it. I'm going to show you how to kill it. Ever had anyone come to you and say, well, what's this happens to do this? What if you get pulled over and you don't have light? Okay, well, I'll tell you what if I don't get pulled over?
Hey, Kate, you are breaking up pretty good on my end.
Oh.
Yes, on mine as well. Yeah, breaking up.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Let's try it again. It's only when I put this on that. Is it?
Crack that window.
It's a cold day.
Yeah, it seems to be only Kate.
Lots of bar here. I should be fine.
There you go.
There we go. Okay, it's block talk. It's not Skype, honestly. So you hear me clear well, all right?
It's still breaking up a bit.
Yep.
It's not good. No worries, don't worry. It's going into the account. You're getting down low, so whether I hear it or not, that's my intent. So, question is this. I've had people come out to me and go, well, what if you get pulled over and you don't have a license, you don't have insurance, you don't have a... Okay, I look at them and say, well, what if I don't? Oh, I never thought of that. Of course not, because you're polarized, you moron. So get out of the polarity and start looking at it. As soon as you have a question, here's how to kill Mrs. Doubtfire. As soon as you have a doubt, throw it in the mirror. Well, what if it doesn't happen? And the other way I like doing it is this. If you think something is... You manifest something in the ego. It's all ego that manifests this, by the way. It's not you. If you manifest something, well, geez, I sure hope that this doesn't happen, right? So you have a lot of energy and fear attached to that, so let's put some love into it. Gee, this is going to happen, and then you automatically think, no, it's not. It's not. So you've really got to work your own polarity into the neutral singularity. That's all it takes, and it takes a bit of practice. So that's why I say hang out at this table, because if one thing that we all need is a stable point of reference, stable datum, something we know that we can always go to center. That's what this table is. This is the gratitude of the bull. Okay? Bull is the Taurus, is the creation field. It's allegorical. The bull can either be a toroidal bull. Which one is Taurus? Fiction. Right? Now, Santo, all of the intention spirit breath comes from Gemini, the lungs. That's where you breathe it out. Where does it get delivered? Through the Taurus.
Yep, exactly. Isis is where Sirius on the ecliptic is where the lungs are in Cancer Gemini. Well, it's actually in Cancer, but that's the lungs, and her husband Osiris, that would be the larynx, and Horus is the vocal cords. So yeah, and the larynx, that would be in Taurus.
Oh, how about this? The larynx, right? Nix meaning to stop something, right? Fee or faux nix. This is that which started the whole game rolling is the same thing that's going to stop. This is how you're learning to steer your ships, your minds. And when you understand that you are the master and commander, as in joint, man, that is mother, mind, ma, and der, which is theos. Der is German for the, right? Theos. Remember what I said. Somebody. One sec. There we go. Somebody put the call on hold. You can't put it on hold during the show, guys. Sorry, that's what it does. So anyway, did that get through okay? Did you guys hear that okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Santo, can you do everybody a favor? And I think this will be very helpful because within everything, so there's also zodiac in head as well. There's zodiacs everywhere on you. All right. But I also want, can you confirm the fact that where Gemini and Cancer meet, my daughter's mother, Cancer and a Gemini, where Cancer and Gemini meet, is it the highest of potential on this wave of Capricorn?
Oh,
right?
Did I sound?
You broke. Oh, yeah. Oh, I heard most of that.
Would you want me to say it again?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the human head has all the zodiacs. If you go through that with everybody, I just want to confirm the thing first. Where Gemini is the high point of potential, and I'm talking positive, the highest, that's the top of the roller coaster, where the biggest point of creation occurred, and it's at Gemini and Cancer. Now, I'm a Gemini, my ex is Cancer, that's we had Sphinx between us, a Leo and a Virgo. It's all coincidence, right? Anyway, so I've confirmed that is high. I don't need you to, because you know it is. I know it is. But anyway, I just want them to hear it from the astrotheologist of astrotheology. But if you could break down the human head where all of the zodiacs sit, please.
Well, yeah, if you go back to the wave and just look at the wave, the sine wave horizontally, with its equator, and you've got the top part to the left and the part that goes below to the bottom. Well, the very top part would be where the Tropic of Cancer is on the eclipse, and that is between Gemini and Cancer, 23rd. Yes, that is the highest point of the wave's climb and descend from there. So that will happen between Gemini and Cancer. Now, the head, if we begin with Aquarius, which I never begin with Aquarius, I always begin with Aries, but just start with Aquarius because it's the highlight, really, I think, of the whole zodiac in the head, and that's the fontanelle, the little part in the top of the skull there that opens where there's a crossroads or there's of bones, and it's very soft with little babies. You can see them breathing through that. That's Aquarius. That's the water pouring in our vortexian energy pouring in through the head, through the urn of Aquarius. Okay, so, but the next sign is Pisces, which is between there and the forehead, and the forehead is Aries. That's where Aries is in the head, and then below that, the eyes and the eyebrows belong to the bull, and the nostrils, those belong to Gemini, Pollux and Castor. One is the moon, one is the solar nostril. Below that is Cancer, the mouth, the jaw. And below that is the chin, Leo, the heart, the protruding heart is there. And then in the throat is Virgo, the Virgin, because Mercury, its ruler, rules the air and the cerebrospinal system. And of course this is where the spinal cord and the esophagus go through the foramen, which is the whole of Ammon, the foramen magnus, the big mother foramen, because you see, our bodies are full of these foramens. Amun is the god that is called the hidden one. It's hidden in your body. And so, continuing on, see, this is why our mother who art in heaven, our saviour Isis, because we must bring the cerebrospinal fluids through the Virgin, you see. It's the Virgin that's in the throat, that's in the throat there. And then behind that is the two olives, Libra, or the two pyramids behind the medulla oblongata. And then above that is Sagittarius, and then Scorpio, and then above that is Sagittarius, and then you could go inward to the ears for Capricorn, Saturn being the ruler of hearing, the god of night, because you can't see at night, so you have to listen. And then, of course, that brings you to Aquarius, the fontanelle.
Yeah, perfect. And what I said all along, that we are playing kindergarten. I want to get into that, but let's just make it simple. We're playing show and tell. That's when I write. I like people to read along with me because it is about showing the symbols and hearing them with different ears. I might want to add this to you as well, Santo. Now, if you were to look at a name, Marjorie June. That might sound. We got noise in the background, guys. Mute out, please. Thank you. Or just quiet. Thanks. Now have a look at the name, Mar. What does that mean? Well, we know what that means. Wait, Mar, water. Jury is Juris, right? And of course, June from Junos, the god. And Adams? Are you kidding me? It's just all coincidence, right? And of course, you put the will. Let's go back to the original name path. I chose my own path, purity born. Let's go back to the original stolen name. It's still mine if I want to use it, but I don't because it's not me. It never was. That's why it's easy for me to figure out it had to be because the name I had was never mine. I could never feel it and never owned it. A state name, great fact, it was separate. But here we go. Wilfrida Keithios Tomp Son. So let's break it down. Wilfree, the Delta, right? The Trinity.
Gino,
fourth
does
letter.
it have to be that loud? You're pretty loud.
Okay, I'm not sure who that is. Hello?
Santos. Oh my God. Is this Kate of Gaia?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Kate, this is Fabian. How are you? I was listening the whole entire time. I love your show. You guys are awesome. Listen, I've got a question.
We have fun. Sure.
Yeah, I know. My question is, I'm trying to learn about these, like the Phoenician. You have what does pro? My name is Fabian Pro Anno. Fa.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to figure this out. So Fa.
Well, okay.
How do you break that down?
Well, Fa is the root note of the ancient spell. That's where creation begins. We drop below that with Do and Re, or Ra. Do being money, Do, right? And of course, Homer Simpson sorted that out. And of course, Ra, which was the external god, the sun god, Ra, which is a creation, so it's an effect to our creation. So there's the two notes below the Fa. So the original root of creation was the note of Fa. That's where Fa, there, comes in. Fa, the root note, Theos, God, Ro, spirit breath. Okay, so there's Father, if you want to know that. Now, well, look at that. Look at you. You are the being. And what was the other? Pro what?
Pro Anno. That's my real name.
Oh my goodness! Look at it.
I use a stage name.
For heart. It means for heart. Anu, right? Anu is the toroidal field called the heart, right? That's why we have per annum, right? Okay. So you have for heart.
My stage name is Fabian Star with 2 R's. So what is that?
Well, you just said the same thing over again, because star is divine feminine creation, spirit breath, double R, right?
Wow.
I can go even further, but yeah, all the answers are contained in the phonics, and you got to bring everything into bear here. You got to bring the numbers, you got to bring the music, you got to bring the languages, you got to bring the words. This is what I've done. This is all I've done. I've just brought everything
it's cool.
together because
listening to the Matrix. It's amazing. I've never. It's crazy. I love it. This is a cool show, dude. I love it.
So I tell you, it's the only one on the planet doing it, so welcome.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm going to mute out. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. It's all good. So getting back to the Wilfrida Keithios Thompson, I've already explained this a few times, but let's have a look at the two names as they came together in the allegory. You had Wilfred Keith Thompson and Marjorie June Adams. And then, of course, the Sphinx came out of that. And what is it all about? It's about the power of me. That's why my oldest daughter is Illy. And, of course, my youngest is Hillary, or the hilarity of it all, right? It's all good. Let's go Will-Free, the Divine Trinity, with the key of God, the twin spirit breath Son. right? So that's the name I came in with. That's why the game was about claiming the name, because it was claiming your way. Name means way. And of course, we have to weigh the heart. We have to name the heart. So what is your name? You are God.
Yes.
And I'm doing my best to try to write all this stuff out. Can you imagine what goes on in my twin turbo fucking Mercury outboard with a Virgo moon and being Gemini? Seriously, you should try living in this head for a while. It drives me nuts. I can barely sleep right now. I'm exhausted all the time.
I'm with you on that, Kate. Just off it.
Yeah, I know you're Gem.
Yes. And look, my mom and my daughter are Cancers. And my husband's name is Thomas. And my sister's name is Willette.
Oh, Jesus Lord, Thundering Woman. Did you pick a game or what? I love my roles that I get to watch.
Oh, yeah. You bring it all out.
Okay, here's another one. I'll show you. This is why Fluffy is so. I love Fluffy. She's so good. You got to tame the Cerebus, though. This is what you got to do. My Fluffy is fully tamed, but she wags her tail when I bring her up. She's happy. Let's talk about the cosmic joke shop. All right, I'm going to lay it on the line for you guys. Okay, you're all gathered around a table that was set by a fucking tranny. Okay. If you can't see the joke in that, you got issues. Okay. Where are we going to hide one of the best clues, the key to the game? Where are you going to hide it? Well, if I was writing a movie, and I am, I would hide it in exactly where everyone would run for the high hills for. So stop taking it so serious. You know, the star serious?
What about the divine feminine?
I'm sure.
I don't mean to interrupt. Isn't like the divine feminine, aren't you kind of like the embodiment, or wouldn't you be like considered like in the way the divine feminine, because you're both masculine and feminine, perfect balance? I mean,
no, that's fine, because here's the magic of me. In the curse and the blessing at the same time. You see, my mirror was always broken. When I looked into it, it never showed me, who I am internally. So the embodiment physical of the literal is a complete mirror of what I am in creation, divine feminine. You see, and that's the only thing that is comfortable to me is that creation, the is. And I'm okay with having my own intent, because I'm just a clue to everybody that you are both. You are both magnetic, electric. That's why I know you're me, M-E, magnetic, E, electric, right?
Wow.
That's why I know you're me. You are magnetic, electric, and I am, so you must be me. No, it's not a coincidence, because you're not.
My initials are M-E, me, so you're talking to me.
I knew you were me. I knew you were me. Right? Is it too much fun, or are we having a good time yet? Guys, it's got to be. It's coming up. It's got to be 4:20 somewhere on the planet. Smoke a bowl. We're a minute late. It's 9:21. 4:21 somewhere on the planet. You should be smoking a bowl.
We're doing it.
Yeah, I think I beat you to that one. Kate, can I ask you something really quick? What about your?
You just asked. Kate, okay, I'll keep you literal. Sorry. Stop apologizing.
Can I ask myself a question? Do you think about like the Oracle and the Matrix? Because every time I think about when she says to Neo, the real reason you need to ask yourself is why you chose to go through what you're going through. Has anybody ever proposed that question to you before, and how would you answer that?
Oh, I've answered that question countless times. Well, again, see, there's only in the beginning there was the word, and for me the word was, as any 5-year-old knows, why? Have you never sat and just pondered the whole aspect of creation and the being aware that you're an aware being, and then going, holy shit, why? Imagine we have all of this here. How did it get here? Why? And that's the only question I've ever asked, and I just keep asking it, and I keep getting answered. It's beautiful. Because in a state of God being, when you ask questions, you are the as king. You are God. When you are asked, because you're asking a quest ion. You're on a journey, so to keep the journey moving, you must quest ion. You got to keep chasing that with questions. Not questions, but quest ions.
Right.
And everything in the movie, everything in the game is so crystal fucking clear when you just break the spell. When you know that every sound, every word, take any word and spell it any way you want. just based on the sound of what you know. And keep in mind that a C can be a K, can be a G, can be an S, okay, all these different sounds. Start messing them around. You're going to see the magic in every word. It's like somebody says, well, we have to go foraging for food. Well, what is eating? Well, it's for aging, isn't it? If you are taking in from physical, phi, psi, kal, which is the sacred creation of the spirit harvest, what are you, Cain or Abel? Well, you're partaking of the seed someone else planted, so you are at effect. When you get this, now you can do whatever the hell you want because it's not controlling you. Once you get the concept, the with God, the with seven, set in French. Now, set probably means Saturn too. Hey, Santo?
Absolutely does.
Right? So it's just a coincidence, though, right? Not at all. And when you finally get this, when you finally get the notion that there are no shun, get it? When you finally get to know shun, that everything exists for a reason, absolutely for a reason. The only thing that changes, the only thing that can change, is how you look at it. If you look down from the North Pole, the world's turning counterclockwise. If you look up from the South Pole, if there is such a thing as up and down in space, which there isn't, the world is turning clockwise. You want to win some bets in a bar? Just tell somebody, I bet you 20 turning in two directions at the same time, and you can. And then people are going to go, oh, and they're going to start handing over money. Fools. Fools and their money are easily parted. And fools and their brains are easily controlled. So now I'm in the state of creation where I'm going to start controlling the minds of others. The lower consciousness is asleep. Nothing scares a cop more than thinking that they're fully locked up for the crimes in a private prosecution in a common law court. Whether I do it or not, it's irrelevant. It's the fact that I put the concept there. That's the creation. There's my foreshadowing. How do you like me now? That's going to manifest whenever this timeline slides laterally, as it does every instant.
I'd like to add to that, Kate.
Sure, please.
I heard Mark Passio termed it order followers. And these are, we call them the police, people in the army, people in the government, religion, just people taking orders from someone else, not themselves. They're abdicating that responsibility or ignoring that responsibility. And, well, you see what they get. And we're talking completely the opposite of this.
Can I share a concept with you? Okay, here it is. Let's break that whole concept. Well, listen, if a cop thinks that they can arrest somebody because they're breaking the law, then they have to arrest themselves because they're breaking the law. And if they cannot arrest themselves, how much power do they have now with intention to arrest anyone else? Looks like we just ended that one.
Yeah, beautiful. Spell broken. It all comes right back around. They bite themselves in their own ass.
Grab your mirrors, boys and girls, and start seeing the world the way it is. It's all backwards here. Step through the looking glass, Alice. Stand on the other side and go, I'm God, and I'm going to play. I'm here to play. Woohoo! I'm in.
Yep. I'm in.
Look at you superstars. Oh, my God, you guys make me so...
I'm in. I'm in.
I hear you.
We're all in, baby. What does that mean? I'm in. I don't understand. I'm in what?
Oh, let's just say we'll call it the now. We'll call it the now. Hey, I just heard Mark jump in there, too.
We're all in.
Hello, Kate, Santos. Aloha, Mike. Everyone.
Aloha.
God,
aloha.
You are so soothing, Mike, to listen. Peaceful.
Thank you, guys. My reminder is one of the reasons we have, you want to call it a position, is I'm here because everyone else I took as a, if you want to call it a reflection or a responsibility, and then came back to myself. And I went, so I could never separate me doing of anything without, well, it took everyone to do that. And from this perspective, no one's excluded. And I'm in a peaceful place, I guess. No, I know, because thankfully I've heard it reflected back. Thank you. And we're creating more. And this is why I love hearing Kate and Santos and you guys come to the table. This is really in the moment now where this image we have outside that most of us stopped taking from the news, media, wherever you want to call her, it. And here it is, right here, described beautifully for us from Kate, Santos, Mark, Sivan, Bill. And these are people like really at our table, our morning session.
Here, let's put it in a bigger perspective. You're absolutely right, and I got to tell you, Mike. This is the girl. It's just like when you talk, the gentleness just melts me, and it's the kind of energy that people need to hear. And that's why I love when you show up, because you just bring a beautiful, soothing calmness, and so many of you do that, and I love that. So here it is. People ask me, why do I give my songs away? That's not mine. I'm just a conduit of the all, creating them, passing them through, and passing them out. You see, that's why I can't copyright anything, because I'm an original. And besides, how selfish of me to think that, my songs, lyrics, and what have you, are mine, because are they not the results of all the experiences I have with the rest of my consciousness? To give me the idea, to let me download, to explain things, to see the pictures? At what point of that is it mine, when it actually belongs to me and all? So this is why, for me, I don't separate from you. I look at all the points of consciousness as being me, the co-created of that point of consciousness. So how can any of us not be co-created by everything and everyone around us in our experience? At what point of that are you going to see that you are all things, that you are the co-created of self, the one, us? There's only me. And you need to really get the notion that, and you've known this all along. I don't have to tell you this. You've known that you've had something burning within you. That's the consciousness, the star seed, and it's scientifically proven to be a little point within the heart that burns between 3,000 and 6,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It is a factual point of light, which is a fractal of the fractal of the fractal. Okay. When you finally get the notion that you are the co-creation of self, and we are all the mirror images, and the net results of those experiences traveling through infinite realms and infinite possibilities on infinite parallel timelines, going laterally, when you get that, how can you claim to own anything when you actually own everything? You own nothing and all at the same time. It's beautiful. It's a perfect singularity. That is the imperfection of perfection. If things are perfect, there is nothing to do. So that makes it imperfect, does it not? Mirror, mirror. Yeah. Thank you for co-creating me. I kind of dig where I'm at. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you too. Right back at you.
Hello, Kate.
Oh, I'm here, just having mouse issues again. You know me. Sorry. Thank you right back. I was trying to answer you and my mouse kept not working. It's all right. Everything's perfect. So that is the reason why when people thank me for doing what I'm doing, I'm thanking them for showing me the confirmation that I am getting it, that I am getting it, not that they're getting it. You see what? I won't separate myself from the rest of consciousness. I know that all of the bad bastards on this planet are me, and I know that all the good ones are too. I just have to change one thing. How am I looking at it? How am I seeing my own creation? And everything that I say is everything that you can say equally. When you know that you are God, because you are. Like I said, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make gods. what? I'm doing it. I'm watching them come to the table every night, and it's friggin' awesome. No words. How can you describe that feeling? You can't. That's pure bliss. Pure bliss. Wow. Can you guys hear the wind?
Is that just there? Nice.
Oh yeah, it's blowing up a hell of a storm here. It's beautiful. I'm just living up to my name, Duality Storm, right? Oh man. Anyway, yeah, jump in, guys, please. I've talked enough tonight.
Just want to kind of make a distinction in some people's minds. This word God, when we're not saying God with an ego here. This is big difference in my understanding. Because I'm not writing your play. You're writing yours. It's freedom life in this. We say God.
Good.
Yeah, it's a funny word. It's like a transition.
Yeah.
It's like a transition word. It requires time. It requires the love space to move through to get to the bliss, to get to where you don't even really need the word anymore.
Right. Now, do you know anything stop people from getting to bliss? Polarity.
Say again?
Screaming at polarity and screaming at the movie. Right? Thinking that there are enemies outside of you. The only enemy that is outside of you is the one you create. Therefore, you have created the equal and opposite enemy within you. If you call someone outside of you an enemy, can they not now say that you are their enemy? And if you've got pure conflict and you're trapped in the literal, and the ego will keep fighting back and forth instead of looking at it and knowing that you are God and just make the counter intention and say, not a chance, nice try, it's all good. Because I got to tell you guys, the minions that we like to talk of, the police and all the rest of it, seriously, do you grant them that kind of creative God power over you? Seriously? You know, what do they have? All they have are their physical tools. They have nothing spiritual. All they have are their guns, their anger, their fear, their gangs, their jarheadness, and the rest of it. Can you not pity these children and try to bring them home? Suffer from little children. That's what it means to be the Miki, the electric in the mirror of Yang, which is the dark now made light, with Ka, spirit. Yes, the meek shall inherit the I, mine of her, of the I of love. Yes, the me key do inherit the earth, and I'm just handing out the key. Ready to be me and have the key? Thought so. Me too.
That word you mentioned there, Kate, shall, and you emphasised it. In Arabic, they say inshallah, which will be pronounced shallah, because what it means is it's in the tense really saying if Allah wills, inshallah will go and journey to another country, inshallah. And so you can see word in the way double L, who the Muslims worship, because God, some people ask about is there a God? They say it that way. Is there a God? Well, all is God. It's a more question, and that's why they're because why would they worship anything all? And we are all there is. We are Allah.
Well, yeah, it's funny you mentioned the word Arab. Another movie.
Inshallah.
Yeah, another movie that just came out, The Lone Survivor. I think it came out Friday. I watched today. I had last week. You see, here's the thing. You want to know what the allegories are? I've been getting movies that haven't even been released in the theaters yet. So what is that telling you? Oh, we're in the script. How do you interpret your law? Do you let someone else interpret your law, or do you do it? I interpret my own. It's pretty cool. It's way more fun.
Hey guys.
Wait. Yeah, go ahead.
Once you, and I have to thank Kate and Santos, once you understand the game and start taking yourself out of the game, this is going generally because I kind of understand where Kate and Santos, where their purpose, shall I use the word, but does anybody else here in the chat come to a point in their crosswords where they think, well, what is my life's purpose now?
I'm reminded
I can
of
show you how to
Kate said it clearly earlier today.
Well,
again, he almost says it every day in Santos too, and me, is I hold my, if you want to call it thought, but like Kate says, I stand at that door of truth, that I'm owning my responsibility, that this world is changing. I don't accept the old bullshit anymore. I haven't for a long time, and that's why we come to this table. That's my purpose. This is changing. There ain't no ulterior motive besides that.
And the easiest way to find your purpose, and this is why this whole system was set up to program you into getting a job, getting a career, spirit ass. Yeah, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Anyway, or a rear admire all. Admire means to bog down. Yeah, so go ahead, admire the physical. And what you're going to do is to bog down yourself. So what you need to do is exactly the things that were deliberately. If you can see it as the game, you'll see how perfect it was, because the best game you're going to play is the one that you pull the furthest away from, and you have to find it, right? So this is why children, should be seen and heard, and of course they don't want you following your dreams. Oh my God, because I'll tell you, if every one of you think that you really love to look at, be a part of, maybe part of history or something, it doesn't matter, something that really resonates with you, that you could go all day and it's like seeing a subject all day because it fascinates you so much. Well, contained in that love, that passion, that emotion, are all your allegorical clues, and they're way easier to find when you follow the things you love. That's why for me, history and English, I've always loved history and English. I've always loved geopolitical socioeconomic. It was a hobby for me because I loved watching how things interacted. I used stars, bullswords, and it was coins to me were things I could look at and go, gee, I wonder who one had been true, and I want to be on its journey with me, because the end of the path gets to me. So like talking to Kevin yesterday, he had a piece of amber with a flower inside of it, millions of years old, and I said to Kevin, imagine how much it had, that little piece of amber with a flower in it, created millions of years ago, buried and undug, and how many hands, and what it had to do to get to your hand to be in your now. Not a proof of a lateral timeline shift. I don't know what the hell is. Everything happens. So find that thing not care what it is. Something that is literally something you love. Literally. And once you find that, look for what it's telling you allegorically. What are all the clues, all the words that keep showing up, resonate with you, all of the coincidences, the little synchronicities, the syncretisms, all of it. And this is how I found my path. This is the yellow crow, no road. Right? So that's how you find your purpose, and you never heard of purpose. You're never fully on it. And truth is the purpose of all. Electricity. The absolution of the Father, which you need to be, and all the children, the itself that created for bring home. This is where we move from the child, the itself, to creation, and become other father, the electric. Earth, the pottery ends, the air, or by ends, by mind. That's what parent is. I can give you a whole lot of different layers, and all these letters symbol by symbol. I like it's only going to be the same thing, and this is what I covered all the words. Every word can mean exactly what you see in the dictionary, because you're going to see how they mean that in the opposite mirror. And then when you look by learn, then you have the real magic, Phoenician, the tones. And that's where you break the spell. Once you know this Phoenician or phony, shun, law, you get it. And it's a big joke. It's a big cosmic joke. It's beautiful, man. We have such a game. It's lighten up. Get your lighthouse lit up and put a great blissful smile on your face. Start laughing at yourself. Right? We've come full circle. We've went through the entire tarot deck. I haven't actually looked at the tarot deck to see where we are, but I think it's safe to say that we are already on the universe card 22.
Whoa.
The cat 22. Mm-hmm.
Wait, go back to that. Go into more detail. Could you explain that in more detail? I'm kind of curious. I know you're kind of glossing over the experience that you had with the tarot deck.
No, I'm not glossing at all. What I'm looking to see, what do you want to know about the Torah, the tarot, the Torah?
Well,
is there something specific you're looking for? Because I'll tell you whatever you need.
Yeah, I need to learn more about that. I already got my answer.
Okay, well here it is in a nutshell. When you put your complete truest, your trust, not some trust fund, that's a little. If you the real truest,
you're breaking up. Is anybody else getting? Is anybody else getting broken up here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just hold on. You'll clear up.
Yeah, again, that block. It'll clear up. Don't worry. Just put the intent there. It's there. Okay. You're fully aware of everything around you. You're completely aware of yourself. You're completely aware that everything's coming at you matters completely 100%, and that everything is perfect. That is a now moment. That's where you can get into the pre-creation mind in love, not crucifixion versus loyalty. Give me an example. I can do a tarot card reading and know that it's perfect, that it's telling me everything I need to know right now. Because I trust my out. I make a mistake. There can you. We can have a ego truth. I'm an observer. Up, say, there. Up, which is object. Up means sense or go to. Creation. Or up. Sir, are. Same self creation. So we have going to create a whole spirit breath. True, verily, or very true. So number is you're just looking for truth, and to be the new try-all observer. This is what you see. It is all in the phonics. It's all in the sound. Sound is all of creation. Why wouldn't it be? And we get to these little culminating points of knowing that it's one thing, everything in the universe is in common, just like everyone on the earth has in common. Sound is the only thing that all languages have in common. And of course, Phoenician law being all about sound, and the purple people, Kronos, the crown birds. Once you see that, then you start seeing the real magic of this magic kingdom. I simply urge people to go to my writing spin, read the epiphanies that I got that are yours. And I don't do a damn thing. I'm going to remind me, you, all of us, of the things we already know. If you find that, if something resonates with an aha moment, you just remembered it. Because we went through the, what is it, the list or the left? The river of forgetfulness? I think the left. Now, isn't it funny that yesterday I was using an example last night. Bill, go figure. There's that I am again. It's the example of, okay, I want you to go to Lethbridge, Alberta. Oh my God. But here's the thing. You know, and you're not allowed to ask for directions, and there are no road signs. Good luck. Go around blindly until maybe one day, eventually, through infinity, after about a couple of million lifetimes, you might bump into it. So what we do at this table is we give you the map. It gives you the zodiac chart. That is me, the most pristine map of all, because it told me exactly where I came in here, so I know where my road started. I knew I looked at all the things that happened in the zodiac, what the relevance is to me. Excuse me, not only the Western zodiac, but the Chinese and the Mayan. I brought it all because it all matters. I looked at my name, all the different. Is it a coincidence that my original initials were WKT, which is double UK, being a Gemini twin, year dragon, 1964, which is infinity squared upon itself. You see, from get back home, I have to get back to God, of course, because my address is Dale. I broke that down before as well. But no coincidences. And when you finally accept that there are no coincidences, when you finally accept that everything in your life is perfect to get you to this point of now to actually know who you are, ask yourself this question. Are you better today than you were a month ago? Then if the answer is yes, and I know it is, if you are better and more aware, are you not moving up the Jacob's ladder? Of course you are, because that's where I'm going. I'm moving towards the bow, baby. I'm going up, out of the water. Adventure, the small ragtag crew that was going to the stern, the divine feminine mind, went past the hundreds, head towards the bow. And when the bow breaks, the cradle will fall. And down will come baby, cradle and all, Bobby Lawn, baby law mind. So it's time to step out of the baby law, children. Come out of her. That's what the warriors are saying, and I see it from the seal. And I can't explain how excited I am all the time, and equally frustrated. And I can't convey what I really want to, and I just hope, so I'm using the word, that what I'm sharing is resonating with others. And when it does, when you have an aha moment, well then, there's the agreement in consciousness, and that manifests like that. So for me to get more people resonating, or with me resonating with more people, when I come into spiritual contracts agreement, everything I agree with is a spiritual contract, and it is binding. I'm very careful with contracts that I share. That's why I keep celebrating. When I'm in the state of mind, in which I am all the time, I watch creation affect around me. It's magical. So here's a question to the table, and I'm going to ask Santo, I'm going to ask everybody. Further updates that are now than before.
I know I certainly am.
Yeah,
I just caught that question, but yeah. Right when you asked the question. Definitely.
So here's the next question. Now the mirror the word. Are you ascending or are you ascending? Equal and opposite. We are climbing Jacob's ladder because I know that everything I knew yesterday was the foundation of everything I know today as I climb this, and the more we climb, the higher we get and the bigger the panorama we see. It's very difficult to see the surrounding countryside if you're in the valley. In order to see the real world, you have to climb that mountain, and mountain is allegory for truth, just as water is allegory for truth. It's no wonder that we had that cold, hard truth blowing across here, right? No. I spell it S-H-I-T, but some people spell differently. That was a joke.
oblige.
Oh my God. And that's just my. I'm trying to show you the lighter side. Yeah, that's all I'm trying to do. And when you get the joke, you'll laugh just as hard as I do. Promise.
Kate?
Yeah.
This is Nina. I was just putting down the word fear in the letters as they would be arranged, and then I just kind of tossed them around as to how they would come out if I was to move them around in how they're arranged. So one comes out, the next word after fear for me was ref, which would be kind of like a referee in my own way of analyzing this. And the other word that came out was fair, as in bus fare. The other word that came out was rafe, R-A-F-E. I'm supposed to figure that one out. So when you said what's the opposite of fear, I just, I guess I smoked a bowl and then got this whole lectogram out of it.
Okay, well, let's phonics on the lexigram. You said fare, which is like to pay a fare, F-A-R-E, which is the fa-re, the base note of the light of God, right? All fair in love and war, F-A-I-R. And of course you have fee-R. If you are in fee, you are paying, or fear, what you're doing badly. Again, change all the rules, have no rules at all. Look at it, sound it out, every way, spell it out, every way phonetically. Your eyes will explode. All right? So we have fee-R. Now, A-R is raw, the mirror light of God reverse. So what you're doing is you're paying physical.
Yeah.
You must be the raw. So now you can be the fee-ra, or the of the light of God. And there you can see that fair is both a good, and if paying a fare in the money sense, then that could be deemed as the opposite evil to the fair, the fa-re, that is the base of the light of God. You see? So when you see the equal and opposite, just knowing that every word is equal and opposite, it is the spell. And you don't, if I was to even think about trying, someone's asked me, "Okay, you do a dictionary piece?" Fuck no. Because I would spend lifetimes just getting through the first, 20 or 30 words in our language, because they explode so much, so far, into so many concepts. Everything always comes back down to pure creation. So you don't have to do all of that. That's left brain stuff, and that's why I thought that, because that just feels so brainy. I can't do that. I'm just going to say in the right creative, where people can get what we came on to, and we're beginning better people to look for. Because if you don't know that everything is equal and opposite, whoever created language, the word, you're using there, you know what means equal and opposite, you've broken all the spells of all the intentions ever put into any of the sigil. Guess who you are now? Create with mention only, not spell about any long. You can make a word sound any way you want. You can turn the letter upside down, flip backwards, mirror words, Instagram them, change the F, would actually be an S, can be a C, can be a K, can be an E, be H, because G replaced the H, right? Now, what do you take G? It's actually a 6, it's hex. It rotates in on itself. That's the hex of order out of chaos. Okay, well, let's pop you around now. Let's go to yellow brick instead red brick road. They trust on the mother sound group. The original school, Herb Tristan, that's the Masonic the mother sound, Masonic, right? Or the mother side C, masculine, feminine, masculine. I see. See the open note of unconditional love. What do you think the middle C is on the piano? One note, you got to work the narrow road. Once you get there, you'll see that you're both magnetic electric. Got nothing to do with cock up with you. illusion. Everyone gets stuck in, it's feminine, it must have a pussy. If it's masculine, it must have a cock. No, that's the ruse of the rooster, right? That's the duping of the divine feminine. And what better game can we play than to actually be an effect to our own creation? Boy, if you want to find out that you're the opposite of God, create something and name it. Wow, that's pretty impressive. If I was God, what I would do, that's the game of the universe right there. That's all playing. So let's just keep moving laterally and start dreaming, children. Be the child again. Start dreaming of the beautiful things. Getting caught up in the chaos and the quagmire, cartoon character, of the quagmire. Quagmire, by the way, was the guy that just wanted to go out and fuck everything he could find, right? Didn't matter, including trees. Okay? That's the
my
Quagmire.
My favorite character.
Isn't he great? I love Quagmire.
He's honest.
That's the whole thing. Is he blatantly, totally honest? Yeah. Based on one drama or another is your creation, and one you will have to face in your own mirror. Because the conflict is within you, where the external is reflecting everything you need to sort out in yourself to bring your own energies back to balance. If you were asked to hit a bullseye with a bow and arrow whilst walking on a tightrope that you keep slipping on, how do you think you will fare, and how powerful an archer will you make? When you finally get off the tightrope of life, get firmly grounded in balance, your own power and aim returns, and not before it. This is where the hands are steady and the aim is true, and where you can bring to bear the full drawing of your bow, where your arrow is your intent. When you fire arrows at a perceived enemy, you're only shooting at yourself from the external, literal, and physical effect realms. True archer, arc-er, arc-key-ro, or spark of life spirit, one who sees this world point of perfect balance, all yin yang, both reflect in all ways. It just depends on which side of the mirror you choose to stand on, the physical one or the spiritual one. If thine eye and enemy offend thee, well, pluck them out, including all the arrows you shot into your own ass thinking it was someone else. What part of oneness did you miss? What? In love. Me. So I think I want to expand on that a little bit. Still loud and clear there, Michael?
Yeah, Kate.
Okay, good. Thanks. I'm just going to check, just to make sure we're not getting bumped around here. But the main premise of what I'm talking about is very simply this. The toughest mirror is going to be you. And while you are screaming at the movie, when you get the notion, when you finally get the notion that everything in the physical world is your effect. Okay, we are creators. Yes, I think we can agree with that. Yes? Good. Okay, well, let's stop being an effect to our effect. This is the trick. This is the true unknowingness. This is the God who does not know themselves in order to play a game with the God that does. And we are both. So if we are beating the hell out of something outside of ourselves, as I have done countless times, who am I really beating up? Who are we really beating up? We're just beating ourselves up. And we are being tested to see if we can see the contrast. Or to see if we can finally look at it and go, that's me. How do I resolve that particular conflict within me? And this is exactly why every instant of every day, I don't have to go far. I just have to open my computer up or open a book or whatever, because everything is now to me, and everything only matters to me. You see, this is the selfless, selfish at the same time. I care enough about the all of me to take care of the one of me. And to know thyself means I have to know that you are all me and that I am all you. And if I cannot fix me, then I cannot fix you. And I want everyone to get the notion that every word I utter is you. This is you speaking. Can you hear yourself? I am that little thought, that little keymaster sitting up in the top part of this universe consciousness, speaking to the rest of the points of consciousness that are awake. Because only the awake show up at this table. To what degree they're awake? Well, that's me to determine from my perspective. Because when I some part of me that's not quite fully awake yet, that's reminding me that there's still something within me that I got to go, I got to tweak that a little bit. I got to see where the conflict is there. So I'm not looking at anything in terms of judgment. I cannot, because when you do something, you throw it out of balance. You've polarized it. You've put it into, you're evil, I'm good. Well, okay, then fine. Then the one that you just called evil says, well, then you're evil and I'm good. And where is that going to go? It's going to go fucking circular real quick. And hey, do you want the clue? It's in the Milky Way. It's a dragon eating its own tail. And it's going to keep going round in circles until you take that 11-degree tilt, that's what Earth is on, and start tilting it back, which is why what's happening right now is we're balancing out. You'll see it in the this is equally the enemy we create within ourselves. When we argue a point, it is because of this ego controlling us, where an ego needs to justify its position in an always desperate bid for physical comfort and lust of survival. People speak of the ancient samurai as honor-bound, where a slight on their name would have them battling another to the death to restore honor. Now, how retarded is that? And how would effect are they to another's cause? When we react to someone else, what we are really doing is saying, your power of cause is greater than mine. And why do I spin out of control being at effect to it? That's real mature and is showing immediate evidence of where we are on our own awakening scale. This is exactly how problem, reaction, solution really works. How many times have you seen the news, a text, a post on some site that invokes... Oops, damn thing moved. Sorry, guys, I jumped again. It does this on occasion. Where were we? Okay, I'll go back. This is exactly how problem, reaction, solution really works. How many times have you seen the news, a text, a post on some site that invokes an emotional response or response, and it is something you have not witnessed for yourself? I think we might have lost onto there. Just let me double check here, see if he's coming back in. I heard something drop. So Santos will be back in. I'll just keep going. I used to love how it affected people were to the mainstream media. Is that right? Yeah. I used to love how it affect people were to the mainstream media, where they would make claims regarding another country and affair based solely on what some talk on CNN was scripted to say. I like to confirm the fact that they must know these things based on living there, being part of another culture and experienced it in real-time reality. That was never the case. That lit more than one ego fire because the ego hated me made a fool of with truth. Truth is the only thing the ego cannot handle, which is the product of a physical illusion or, quite simply, a game. The word prove is prove or proverily, which means for truth. And there is no way anyone can prove anything if they haven't experienced it. This is why I will never try to prove anything to anyone, because proof is not required if one shares the same experience with me in my timeline, in my reality, and thus theirs. The only literal thing that you can prove to yourself is your own existence, where a North Pole exists because you've been there yourself. This is why I take nothing literally and observe only from an allegorical perspective. The allegories of creation are the only real thing I can prove to me because they only matter to me. I don't and I will not allow myself to get drawn into an emotional drama based on something that doesn't even concern me literally. It only matters to me allegorically from a neutral observer position. If we are caught in the dramas, we are in the realms of bread and circuses to the degree that we are distracted from our true paths. It's as simple as, will you buy duality into the drama or dragon mother creation of another and be at effect to it? Our cause removal is directly proportional to our being at effect additions. The biggest difficulty I encounter now is everyday conversation regarding all things literal, physical, and pure effect. If your creative intention keeps siphon or siphoning off, what are you creating and for whom? Can I dupe you out of your energy? Well, I sure can, because I now know how to do that. I can anyone where I will go with full clear thought as an inception of an idea into your realm. Right now, I want you to not think of a kangaroo. That is the power of thought. Again, all the answers lie in the sound. The phonics and every thought is sound in its purest form. if I can control that, that can also be pronounced thought, right? The A can have an ah sound, remember? So if I can control that, I can control.
You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn. You're listening to Santos Bonacci live on Syncretism here on criticalmassradio.co.uk. As above and so below is the holy science you need to know, astrotheology, because now it's our turn.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to Outside the Box here on criticalmassradio.co.uk. I'm going to get you guys to put on your seatbelts. You are going to need them tonight, I assure you. You see, everyone walking around on this planet right now are the proof of my awakening and the proof of some of the things that I still need to awaken within me. So I observe it from both positions. And what I'm going to do tonight, I'll welcome Santo to the table here as well. But what I want to do tonight is go through. Actually, I've got one essay I wrote yesterday, and one that I'm still working on, but I am going to share it. And here, one sec. Yes, I want to view these files later. And what I want to do is teach you guys how to sow the right seeds, because that what you put out in terms of intent and any spirit breath, words, tongue pledges, language, whatever the case may be, phonics, sound, any sounds you put out, you are actually creating it. We've covered this. I'm going to get real down to the nitty-gritty tonight because I want the rest of me to wake up, because you're all superstars in my movie, and the only way we can do this collectively, well, because there is only one God, and I'm it, and you can say the same thing. As far as I'm concerned, you're all superstars in my show, as I would hope that I can be a superstar in yours. I already know I am, so it's all good. You see, you are all superstars, so am I. I'm just going to show you how this consciousness can get there, because if but one shall awaken means the one. That's all of us, right? We are one. And all of this nonsense bickering and screaming at the movie screen is not getting us anywhere, except empowering that which has us trapped. And that's what I've got an essay called Enemy Mine, and the one I'm working on is called Cain and Abel. And I'll tell you this right now. If you cannot see what it is I am about to share with you, I'm going to continually keep working this through, because I know every thought I have, every intention I have is going into the consciousness, because it is my consciousness in my movie as I direct it. So you're either going to get it or we're going to get it, see, because I kind of stumbled on the key thing, right? The master key, if you will. And that's kind of, I can put it in words, so I'll just leave it at that. So without further ado, let's just say a quick hi to Santo and see how you're doing down under. How's the weather? We've got ourselves a nice little blow over here with some snow and getting chilly, but of course, duality storm. What expect around me? Hey, Santo.
Yeah, I'm well, thanks, Kate. Thank you very much. And the cold Melbourne down here at the moment, it's very strange. Probably the coldest summer I've had. The last 4 summers have been very cold, though, here in Australia. We do get 1 or 2 hot days that just, come in once a week to remind us that it is summer. But apart from that, it's pretty much a summery winter here. Very unusual weather. But, look, I'm looking forward to hearing what you've got. I can tell it's going to be great.
This is going to this is going to blow everyone's mind tonight. I know, because my mind, get it? Because I know I'm God. And so oh my God. When you know you're God and me and I'm you, and there's no competition there because we're all doing this together. I get it. I get it. It's friggin' awesome. So here we go. Let's start off with the most important thing. Who the real enemy is there, and who you think it is. Because that's the one that you can't confront. That's called the mirror, and it's called you. So that's where enemy mind comes from. I did post it yesterday on Facebook. Ninja did manage to get it up on kateofgaia.wordpress.com. Actually, Santo, I don't know if you have a copy of it yet, but I can slide one over to you. That for you. So you have it. Oh, here, one sec. Talk about magic. Here I am sitting in my car doing this. So, here, tell you what. I'll put it to you direct, Santos, so you have it direct. And just let me know when you got it open, and then we're going to... Because you know my essays, they're show and tell, right? You got to actually see them to believe them. I kind of do a word thing. I have a little trick I do with words.
Okay.
Okay, you got her? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Let's bring this. I got to get mine open. Oh, enemy mine. Yours truly. You, by your truly. You not a of course I know you're all Kate. I gave you the biggest clue of all. Kati, spirit of love. Okay, here we go. Enemy mine. The toughest mirror to look in is our own. Go for yourselves. It is there that we do our most critical judging of self, albeit from a typically physical-only standpoint. How does our hair look? How is what we're wearing looks, etc., and so on. These are all the superficial or superficial, su being under in French, right? Physical manifestations. The under, this is what superficial means. The under create shell of our true God natures. This is usually where most up and dare not look any deeper. We experience a myriad of emotions where some days you have it nailed and others are just bad hair days with seemingly no recourse yet. All are based on the externals that create internal effects upon us. This is the standard operating procedure for the masses, and for beings like me, the mirror in all regards was hard to look into, since I never seemed to see the real me, because the internal wasn't being reflected in the external as per the norms of our collective society. This actually is a gift of gifts, because it separated me from physical reality in an extreme way. It started as my own worst enemy and my own best friend, operating in singularity style. People I have long known have often stated that they don't get it as far as my being training. I fully get that. It's tough to get something you've never experienced in the same way as describing a movie pales in comparison to actually sitting down and watching the movie to experience it. It also allows me the luxury of seeing my own contrasts in relation to others who are a mirrored reflection of my consciousness. Since I am the only one I have to solve, I had to learn to be a neutral observer. We are confronted with many challenges every day where we are tempted to trespass on others' free will choice by interfering or intervening on their life's experiences. If you give someone a fish versus a fishing rod, are you really helping or hurting them? We've long been playing the game of polarity, the realm of opposites and equals at the same time. Good and evil are merely reflections of each other, where only the perspective separates them. If one sees something as evil, someone else must also see the same thing as good, and we engage ourselves in a polarized judgment by only seeing one or the other instead of one and the other. When we create this thing outside ourselves, we create the equal and opposite within ourselves. As within, so without. As without, so within. If one can imagine that everything is perfect, where only our perspective is skewed, then we are a long way down the path to knowing ourselves to a greater degree. So here's a tough question with an easy answer. When one has created an external enemy, what has been created in the mirror? In a duality and polarized position, one can't see the perspective from a created enemy's viewpoint because, well, they're the enemy, and who can stomach that? Can you stand in the mirror of that and see how you are also the enemy from their point of view? Phonics. Unfortunately, for many, the ego that controls them can never see such a thing, with the ego insisting it must be right. When we create an external enemy consciousness of others, let's look at the true enemy here then. Go and grab a mirror. I'll wait. Once you can get through the mirror to the other side, your Alice will be just peachy. But you have to be willing for the fires burn off the external call. The need to be right versus wrong, where only the ashes, the H's, the gods are for you. The true phoenix or faux nix, faux ended, can finally pass. Are you caught in the emotional webs of friends, family, enemies, lovers, the masses, etc., that keep you in your own of deceit or DC it, not see it? We have been spellbound and ensnared in the web of webs for the only purpose of playing a game. Yeah, this is a tough game, but for those that really know that they're God, they have gratitude in as much as it takes quite the game to convince God they're not, after all. Don't you think? Go ahead, rant and rave about this or that, get angry at this system that has ordered one hell of a game, and I will sit back, clawed in hand, and be amused, and all the while tell me that they are amazed at what to do with sport. But the truth is, it's so simple that my only frustration left is that people still themselves. You cannot have the power of God if you are under someone else's spell. Your power constantly being fed into the illusion. This is a game to know thyself, not beat 5-year-old retarded children over the head with a Louisville slugger, after all. This is the meaning of suffer unto you, the children. The children are not the youngsters or the young stars, but they're looking back at you or mirror. How many times does it change? The movie is unchanged. Plot remains where I used to watch it with my eyes as it pertains to me. What I need to see, because the conflict you need to sort it out in yourself to bring your own entities back to balance. If we're asked to bow an arrow while talking, I keep flipping on. Do you think you will fare? And how powerful should you take? When you find out the rope of life, firmly guided in balance, all power and aim returns, and not before it. This is where the hands are steady. Okay, we're back on here. I'm in there. I just want to make sure I'm on the call here. So if we get bumped, I've got some backup. Mike, hear me? Hello, Mike?
Hey, hello.
Can you hear me? Coming in? There you are. Okay. Yeah, anything happens where it gets silent again, just start talking. All right?
Sounds good.
Okay, and how it sound, by the way?
Still a little bit choppy.
Okay.
How about you?
Oh, you sound great. I mean, I hear Santo perfectly. I can hear you fine.
Yeah, wonderful, Kate. I read
sounds
it
great from here.
Yeah, right before you came on the air, I read that. And, yeah. You hit it home again, Kate. Thanks.
Oh, wait till you hear Cain and Abel. I cleared the parking lot with that one. All right, so where did we end off? Do you happen to recall?
It was like the last few paragraphs.
You would just, read the last paragraph. This is
Okay.
where the hands are steady and the aim is true.
All right, so let me see. Where are we here?
Last page.
All right, okay. Let me start at the top of the last page. That way I know everyone gets it in the flow I want to. All right, so you cannot have the power of God if you are under someone else's spell, where your power is constantly being fed into the illusion. This is a game to know thyself, not beat 5-year-old retarded children over the head with a Louisville slugger, after all. This is the true meaning of suffer unto you, the children, where the children are not the youngsters here, but the screaming child looking back at you in your mirror. How many times has a movie changed when you screamed at the bad guy in it? The movie is unchanged. The plot remains where I choose to watch it with my eyes as it pertains to me and what I need to see to shine up my own inner mirror. Yes, the enemy you create outside of yourself